Grace and peace, everybody. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. We are on day 117 of, good gracious, of this YSL trial. And I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in on this morning. I got some morning, so I said I want to jump in, say good morning to you all, tap in, make sure we said hey, and got this thing off and running. And then I am going to pop back in this afternoon. We're going to do an abbreviated show this morning. We're going to go from about 9 o'clock until maybe about that lunch break. And then we'll come back after lunch break. We're going to come back around 3 o'clock until the end of the day, because apparently they got a lot of horse trading and such like that. And yesterday was pretty, let's just tell the truth. It was pretty painful. Okay, let's just be honest. So, and also, yesterday's live stream was better than 8 hours. I don't know if y'all remember, but during the early portion of that horse trade, they played a video of, they were trying to tap somebody and say, well, he was in the video, and because the rapper is saying something that's criminal, everybody in the video is subject to the crime. Do y'all remember that? Okay, they played a video and it literally was like 20 seconds. It was literally like 20 seconds of, and I didn't even understand what was being played because it wasn't very clear. Sadly enough, YouTube knew what was being played, and YouTube gave me a copyright ding for 20 seconds of that music being played in an 8-hour stream. So that is akin to you working an 8-hour shift, 9 to 5, and I don't know, throwing a pencil at your coworker, and I don't know, but 20 seconds, and they gave me a copy ding. YouTube is so out of pocket. Anyway, we got the matter resolved. I deleted it out, chopped it out. But the reason I bring that up is because I'm gonna probably make more of a practice with these phone calls, these jail calls, the videos that they're playing. I'm gonna probably mute all of those because I just don't know what they're gonna play. I don't know what they're gonna say. And yesterday, the phone calls were extremely vulgar. Definitely not something I put out on my channel. Not even the way I even talk, but also like just the song. Like I got dinged for a 20-second song, which is probably like a fraction of the time that we were on live yesterday. But also, let's just tell the truth. That is boring as all get out. So we're going to abbreviate the show today. We're going to go from about 9 to about 11:30, maybe even 12. To the lunch break, whenever the lunch break is. And then we'll pop back on at 3 o'clock. I got a whole new live stream starting at 3 o'clock. Now, you do want to come in. You do want to come to the afternoon show because I have the absolute, unequivocal best story that you've ever heard in your life. This story is so blanking crazy. I promise you, you are not ready for this story. So come this afternoon. Yes, I'm trying to get you to come to the live stream this afternoon. Yes, I'm bribing you. Absolutely, I am. I'm not above it, okay? If bribery is here, I'm sorry, if bribery is here, I'm well below bribery. I will try to bribe you. But I think you'll enjoy it. You'll get a good chuckle, a hearty chuckle. It is definitely off brand. It's definitely just a lighthearted discussion, but I promise you, it is the best story you've ever heard. It's about 10 minutes of comedy, so prepare yourself to laugh. All right, so today they're supposed to be doing some more high-level horse trading. The DA, the state, is supposed to be bringing in, I think, the last of their witnesses that they're supposed to parse through, and the defense is supposed to give objections and stuff of that nature. So that is what's on the forecast for today. I'm hoping that it will be, in fact, a good, a good time, and definitely make it worth us sitting there. But it was a lot yesterday. So prayerfully, hold on a second. Yeah, man. So real quick, shout out to Miss Sylvia. If y'all follow the infamous Sylvia, fantastic content creator. She has been in the courtroom since day one. And sadly, YouTube does some stuff that, they tell you let's just be honest. YouTube uses AI and bots to do a lot of the policing. There's no way they could police every video. Okay. I don't expect them to. But YouTube, YouTube is going to YouTube. Okay. They just be doing stuff sometimes. So they gave Miss Sylvia a copy, a monetization. Well, they gave her a ding for using other people's content, but she's actually using her own content. Everybody's using the exact same feed at the courthouse. There's only one camera. So Fox News, 11 Alive, CNN, Law and Crime, all of them are all using the exact same feed. They're just able to brand their feed so it looks a little bit unique. So like Fox has the little bugs, the bumpers on the top and the bottom. I think Law and Crime has their logo on the side, so on and so forth. But it's the same feed. And sadly, Sylvia did not have that. So they were, YouTube, again, using bots, determined that she was basically repurposing somebody else's content, which isn't true. But they don't give you they don't think, they're not able to think, because I know she challenged it and she reached out to them and they denied her. So basically she's on 90-day timeout. Hopefully they'll listen to her and she goes through the proper, there's some other channels she can go through that she can appeal the appeal, take it to the appellate court, then take it to the Supreme Court. Hopefully she'll be able to get it taken off. I'm sorry, get herself remonetized. But shout out to infamous Sylvia, great content creator for sure. I'm trying to see, did I miss any other comments here? Yeah, but YouTube just be doing YouTube stuff, man, sometimes. And you got to keep in mind, we are playing in their sandbox. We do have to play by their rules, even though sometimes their rules are not fair. Their rules are not metered out the same way. Some people get away with stuff and other people do not. That kind of stuff like that. I was, again, I could play a song. Like here's another example. There's a lot of people that do like body cam videos. A lot of the time, the body cam videos are on YouTube, police body cam videos where maybe they're arresting somebody or there's a fight or some kind of DV or whatever like that. So those videos are on YouTube. The video itself is on YouTube, right? If I play it or I comment on it or I react to it, I could get in trouble on YouTube, even though I'm playing a video that is on YouTube. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Oh, nothing has happened. Nothing happened to me. We were just talking about infamous Sylvia has been demonetized on her channel because she was playing the YSL trial, and YouTube doesn't realize that she has the credentials to do that. She's able to stream. So she's able to stream. Matter of fact, Catch 22, this is actually probably a good thing. Why it's good that I haven't gotten my Rule 22, because I would have probably done the same thing. I would have been able to stream it here on Dear World Christian. I would have been able to do it. And if I wasn't adding a bug to it or adding some trailer to it or bumpers or whatnot, I could have been in the exact same boat. So, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't think let me see, Kay Way said, did Love file her motion on why defendants can get found guilty on charges that nothing, the indictment and charge? I don't think so. I will look. I don't think she's made any. Love is, have they done their Brady homework? Have they done anything? I mean, this is junior league law school at this point. Have they done anything is the question we must ask. Have they done it all? Anything? Yo, I appreciate everybody who's tapped in already this morning. Looks like about almost 300 of y'all have tapped in this morning. Thank you so very much. And hitting that like button on your way in, saying what's up to everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Real quick, making sure my screen looks pretty good on the side. I appreciate it. All right. So again, today and tomorrow, we're going to be doing 9 to the lunch break. So let's say 9 to 12, and then we'll come back 3 to 6. Just to break it up a little bit, and especially if there's a lot of horse trading and jail calls. That was painful yesterday. That was painful, and I should have done it. Probably should have did it yesterday. just said, hey, we're going to tap this out because it was just painful to listen to. And when we also factor in, when the jury's back, we're going to listen to it again. So, or whenever that witness is called, they're going to have to do it again. So that was pretty bad. I do want to say thank you to everybody who watched. Let me say that real quick. I want to say thank you all. So the month of September is over in YouTube land, okay? And you all watching my content and engaging in the content, so on and so forth. I hit almost 1 million views in the month of September during the it's not really the calendar month of September. I mean the month of August, but during the YouTube month of August, I almost hit 1 million views, actually short by 11,000. That is amazing. The best viewed month ever on my channel. And I want to say thank you all very much. Now for the calendar month of August, I know we're going to crush well over 1 million. And I just want to say thank you all for that. And I also want to say thank you all for watching this video on Mr. Matthews yesterday. So I took that video. You guys were talking so much about Attorney Matthews, and I did a video on him making his case before Judge Whitaker about his client and the car chase and all that kind of stuff like that. And you all, let me get this out of here. Sorry about that. And you all, I don't know who you sent that video to. I don't know if you sent it to your aunties and your family members, your group me's or whatever. That video has been burning up my channel. And I want to say thanks so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all liked it. I thought it was a fun video. And I didn't make a lot of comments in there because I thought he was doing such a great job. I didn't want to detract one bit from what he's done. So I want to say thank you for that. Now, I did do I didn't really do a real reaction, if you will, to Brian Steele's making his oral arguments on the Georgia Supreme Court floor because it was so good. I felt like first of all, it was long. It was almost an hour long. But then secondly, I was like, I don't want to take anything from this. So I did do a short, extremely short reading of the actual case that Brian Steele is arguing. And then I added in Brian Steele's argument. So I'm going to drop that video. It's still cruising around 40 minutes, but I will drop that video on this evening for you all. I'll make sure that the thumbnail goes up in a moment. But I just want to say thank y'all so much to everybody who's been checking out the content, tapping in the morning, hitting the like button, all that kind of good jazz, watching the content, commenting about it. Tons of you all have emailed me suggestions. And I do want to apologize if I take a suggestion and use it, or you send me a clip and I comment on it and whatnot like that. If I don't give you attribution, please, 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 please charge it to my head, not to my heart. I apologize if I run off. Somebody sent me something. I'm like, man, this is a great clip. And I might have used it and I might not have said anything about it. Because a lot of the time, if you can see, sometimes I'm like, I'm herding cats over here at Whitaker Park. But I do appreciate y'all. And I want to say thank you all so much from the emails, the X, is it okay to call it Twitter? Twitter, mama named them Twitter, I'm gonna call them Twitter. The Twitter DMs, all that kind of stuff like that. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. And then to tap in every day and check out this live stream with me, it means a lot. Because again, I'm not a legal mind. I've never gone to law school. Last week when I went to court was my first time ever being in the courtroom. And your boy's hands were sweating like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be up in here. I try to say my support of the justice system is to stay out of the justice system. That's how I do it. That's how I support my local law enforcement, by them not needing to use resources on me. That's what my goal is. But the fact that y'all check out what we're doing over here, whether it be you're here all day or half the day or some of the day, or you're checking in on the replay or whatever, it means a lot. So I really, really appreciate it. And thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. Lacey just asked a question. I gotta talk about this real quick. What do you think about them using memes as evidence? The world that we're in is moving faster and faster. I'm sure if we could rewind time 100 years, it would have been like, what do you think about them using music at all? Or what do you think about them using, video evidence? Or, I'm sure that there was some kind of argument. In my opinion, it's a very, very thin line. There's a very, very thin line. And we're getting into some dicey area because memes are interpretable. If I drop a meme, right, if I put a meme on the screen, you would interpret it how you understand it. And if I tell you this meme means XYZ, well, that's very possible. But it's also possible that Shahid Shabazz might see it differently. It's also very possible that Donna could see it a totally different way. So to me, memes they're dicey. They're dicey. Where'd that comment go? I think dicey, they're just dicey. Now, there's memes of pictures and there's memes of words. I think it's really, I think it's almost a play-by-play, or you got to take one step at a time as it relates to that. But I don't know if I'm, let me say this is weird. I don't know if I'm against it. I just don't know if I'm for it. Because I can just see it can go south. It can go south so quick. I can show you a meme. You've all been on Twitter and they're like, post your latest meme. And people post memes and this, that, and the other. If you looked at your phone, you probably have memes saved on your phone. And you're like, you use it for a particular reason, maybe with a particular group of people. Because like you wouldn't share the same meme with your college roommates that you would with your grandparents. Maybe you would, I don't know. But you got my point. There's definitely context and there's audience that you have to consider. I'm not thinking about a jury watching my meme or reading my meme. So I'm a little conflicted there. I don't think I would rather them not use them than use them. But I'm not totally against it. But I think you can get into some dicey water, choppy water. Now, I was a teacher, Shahid Shabazz. I was a teacher. Oh, thank you so much, Texan. Help a brother out. Let me get that 1-to-1 ratio. I would have loved it. I would love it. See, I don't want you to go to jail for the memes you've posted. All of us if memes are a problem, then we are all in trouble, right? Let's just tell the truth. It's just real. Okay, thank y'all so much for stopping through. Trying to see, I saw another. Do you think the state bought the songs that they are charging them with copyrights? I'm going to go on a limb, being the fact that Young Thug was apparently very popular. I have to admit, I don't know anything about Young Thug, so I am the outlier. But apparently it's very popular. I'm going to go on a limb and say, I bet you some of the people in the DA's office, some of the people in the jury box listen to Young Thug's music. I'm not gonna, and he's right here in Atlanta, in Fulton County. I'm not gonna pretend like he didn't. Mm-mm. I don't think they have introduced enough evidence from gang experts to prove the memes. See, the memes to me, I think let me say this. The memes should be the icing or even the sprinkles on the cake. It should not be a cake. So if you need the memes, if you gotta have the memes, then you don't have a case, in my opinion. In my opinion, they are trying to force them to testify to defend themselves. No argument for me at all. No argument at all. None whatsoever. Good morning, Mandy. Good to see you, Mandy. Grace and peace to you. Mandy's going to take over the ship in a moment. So whenever she's ready, she's jumping in on in. Wait, Detective, did you see Detective Dennis? He was fanned out. He was a stand. Really? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, this is going to be problematic. I didn't see that. I'm not surprised, though. I would not be surprised. The judge said, what kind of evidence is this other than a good beat? I mean, she did say that. And I don't know. I don't know. Judge Whitaker, you tell us. We just in your world, Judge Whitaker. We got, because we don't know. Clearly, we don't know. I thought Thorpe was the one that had a squirrel brain. I thought, oh, maybe it was Dennis. Maybe, I don't remember. I thought he said Thorpe is the one that had a squirrel brain. I'm going to go back and watch now. Now you got me listening. So a stan Dixie Doodle is basically a fan that will go above and beyond, not just a supporter, not just a avid advocate for, but they might want to dress like their artist or the person they're modeling, or they might want to talk like them, or truly behave like them to the point that they obsess over them. And I believe the word stan came from, I want to say it was Eminem. I'm almost certain Eminem had a situation where he had a fan that wanted to be so much like him. I want to say his name was Stan. Don't quote me on that. Somebody will correct me. But I think that's where the genesis of the term stan comes from, where basically you're just going way past, almost like fanatic, obsessed, not accusing them of any kind of violence or anything inappropriate, but just like like, yo, like you doing the most. So I think, yeah, I thought it was Thorpe. And please let me know if I'm wrong about the genesis of the term stan. Yeah, Lauren, let me tell you, you got to have young people around in your house that they'll bring it up. My kids bring it up a lot. They talk about stan a lot. I love this chat. I've never thought of that. I don't think you can, because I think they're going to use it as evidence. They're going to say that it's evidence. Oh, you know what? I understood now. We talked about, thank you, John, for the super chat. Thank you so much for the gracious super chat. We asked about this yesterday and I think Monday. Can the defendants sue the state? And they cannot. They can't sue the state after this now and get their money back. They can't do it because the state has, don't quote me on this, it's called sovereign immunity. And so basically you can't sue them because they thought you did something wrong and they tried to hold you accountable for it. Oh, there we go. Thank you, King Kush. Maybe that's where it came from. Stalker fan. Perfect sense. See, let me tell y'all, this is why this is the best live chat on the planet. I'm telling you, I don't care where else you go. I don't care who else says that they got the pop in this live chat. This is the best live chat on the planet. And you can catch me outside if you need to. We can go and fix this, but it will still be the best live chat on the planet. Thank you so much, Stalker fan. That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, yeah. But there was an Eminem song too. Thank you, Amethyst. Eminem titled the song Stan about 3 or 4 projects ago. Yeah. I thought that's where I heard it from. But either one, whether the person's name was Stan or as King Kush said, Stalker fan, either one makes perfect sense. But they cannot, long story short, they cannot sue Fonnie Willis because of wasting my time. But you know what? Who's not going to waste our time? Y'all know who's not going to waste our time. It's the lady of the hour. What's going on?
Hey
How are
there.
you, Mandy?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Do you have the court up already?
I do. Yep.
Wonderful. Everybody, I have to go do a recording at the studio this morning. That's why I'm in my Sith costume, because it's cold in my studio.
Your Sith costume.
People always talk about and by the way, I'm a fanatic about hoodies, so I just want y'all to know I love hoodies. So I try to find a reason to wear them, but it's really cold in the studio building, so I'm glad so I can go and wear my hoodie. But
I was gonna say it's August and you're in a hoodie, but I wasn't
oh
gonna
no,
say nothing.
I'm
But
prepared.
you brought it up.
Trust me, I am prepared. When I get in the studio, my glass is flossed over. That's how cold it is in there. The whole building is cold. So I'm paying good for the air conditioning. But everybody, thank you so much. I will try to tap in from the phone, but I do need to make sure I get over here to supervise that. And I will see you all this afternoon. And I got the best story. I promise you. If you come to 3:00, you are going to have maybe like 2:30. You are going to get one of the best stories you've never heard of before. And it actually justifies one of the crazy little memes that I use here on the channel. Just throw that out there. So this is bribery. This is high level bribery. I love you. I'll see y'all in a minute.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull cord up, guys. Because they are going to start any minute. All right. Why won't it let me pull up a full screen here? Let me pull up a full screen. We'll just keep that there and I'll see if I can find another feed. I prefer 11 Alive because it seems like they're louder than everybody else. Let's see. How's everybody this morning? Are we ready for another riveting day with Young Thug Trial? Just a few housekeeping tips. This is a family-friendly channel, so please no cursing in the chat. Our moderators are gracious and will remind you, and then they will give you a friendly little escort to the corner. So please no cursing in the chat. Don't insinuate curse words like WTF or OMG and stuff like that, okay? I am great, Bridget. I appreciate you asking. I am wonderful. God is good all the time. Thank you. You know where I got that Dixie Doodles? I got that from Temu. I ain't even trying to play. I got that from Temu. All right, let's see where we can find Young Thug somewhere else. Oh, there it is. Atlanta News First has it pulled up, so we'll go there. All right, Atlanta News First. There we go. Well, they're already moving. Let's see what's going on. Yep, hopefully an exciting day in court. Are you kidding, Robin? Asked Judge to tone it down. The symposium was held outdoors right beside Pawnee side. You are joking. You are joking. Hey, Axel Will, how are you doing? Good morning. If I was a juror, you are a juror. See, we're all jurors. I'm juror number 597. Write a book. Look, these jurors have a guaranteed book deal. I'm just saying, they have a guaranteed book deal. Robin, is that a joke or are you being like for real? Because I'm about to look it up. I'm about to look it up because now I got to know. Inquiring minds want to know. She's not kidding. They have to leave their notes. That doesn't mean they don't have a book deal. Yeah, they have to leave their notes. That doesn't mean they don't have a book deal. Good morning, Bomanola Adventures. We do have some great mods here. Our mods are second to none. Best live chat on the planet. There are some new shirts in the merch store. Let me get that link, mods. If y'all can drop the link to the merch store, I'm gonna grab it real quick. There are some new shirts. There's a Rico shirt. There's a okay. StreamYard does not like it when I try to open my email. So if one of my mods could drop the I know, new camera angle. I'm seeing that. They better change it because that's gonna show the jury, is it not? Excuse me after moving my camera real quick. Okay. Yeah, it might just be for the week. That's true. The jury's not there. Who is she? I don't know her. She's pretty though. Dago. I see that. This is Young Thug Trial. Is this state of Georgia? Okay. Well, we'll see if there's another one. Is this state of Georgia back behind them? Let's see. Hmm. Okay. Aw, thank you, Eslo, for the $5 super chat. Just because you're awesome all around. You guys are the awesome ones. Thank you. Let me see. 11 Alive is live yet. They are not. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who else has got it? Got it live right now. Atlanta News First has the same thing. Okay. Okay. Law and Crime's not showing anything yet. It's just not live yet. Some people are showing the seal, and some people are showing what's going on from another angle. But that's inside the courtroom. Yeah, of course, they're late. I'm sure the state's late. I'm watching Law and Crime too to see whenever they get it pulled up because they don't have it pulled up yet. I'm watching a couple different streams. Yeah, Law and Crime doesn't have it up yet. It just says upcoming. Chat, Law and Crime. Dismiss, dismiss it, dismiss it. Okay, please don't announce other live streams in someone's live chat. That's very rude. Okay. We'll just pull up Law and Crime whenever they go live. We'll have it, but they're not live yet. Big shocker, they're late. Is Infamous Sylvia in the chat? Someone said Infamous Sylvia was showing the right feed. It's not live yet. I'm looking at 3 different channels right now. It's not live yet. Did anybody watch the DNC? I did not. I have no interest in the DNC. I did watch Obama and Michelle Obama's speech, and you just got to give it to them. They give great speeches. They just do. I'm not into the name calling and bashing each other. I'm not into that. Yeah, DNC was garbage. No, I don't believe you. Take it back. Okay. So the court stream we were watching was right. We were actually watching stuff that was going on in the court. So we had the inside we had the inside scoop. So the people that were just watching the seal, they were just staring at a seal, but we had some inside scoop. This is what we were watching, and they just went to this. So the best live chat on the planet, we had some inside scoop from a different camera angle, can I just say? Why? Because we got it like that. Donna, I felt the same way because, they did not want to endorse her at first. Remember? They didn't want to endorse her at first. I felt like they were kind of pushed into endorsing her. You never miss it. You can always go back. I love the fact that you're sitting there with a skeleton in your picture. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I love that Halloween is coming up. I love Halloween. No insurance and politicians. Yeah, I've never been a political person until this election because I just want to see if this one's going to get rigged. I feel like they're lying about the polls, um, saying people are ahead that aren't really ahead, and I just don't get it. Why do that? I feel like someone was just given the Democratic nomination who didn't have to run against other Democrats. But I'm not getting into politics because I can sit on that soapbox. I thought the same thing, and I probably would have voted for her. I think she's intelligent and well spoken, but it depends on who she ran against too, though. Someone said Oprah spoke last night. I didn't see that, but I would like to. Following politics since I was a teen. I'm 51 now, and I'm exhausted. That's hilarious. Wow, they're really late. It's 9:17. I'm surprised Sis Wit is putting up with that. A racist sympathizer will never get my vote. I'm sorry. Uh, are you talking about Michelle Obama? And Bill Clinton spoke. The last time I saw Bill Clinton, he could barely walk on his own. I didn't know he could give a speech. You mean you wonder if they're having trouble connecting something to Bluetooth? You love Halloween. I love Halloween. Oh my gosh. I've already got a dress that has like little skulls and pumpkins all over it. Bill is aging well. No, no. And when he was president, he was such a little cutie patootie. Yeah, yeah. So let me ask an honest YSL question, and no judgment at all. No judgment at all. Woody, is he a snitch? Yes or no? No explanation. Just yes or no. Is he a snitch? In the chat. Do we feel like Woody is a snitch? No judgment. Nobody judge anybody's answers. I'm just curious what everybody thinks. So far, so far it's no's coming across. No, 100% a snitch. And I would understand both answers. He's a liar for sure. Well, he admits that. Yes. No, 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 no. Yes. He's a big liar. Again, he admits that. Yes. No. Seems like it's about half and half. Nope. Now we're at the seal. No. What was the question? Would he? Yes or no? Is he a snitch? And no judgment for your answer. Yes or no? Is he a snitch? He's not loyal to anyone. There's no honor among thieves. You think he's a thief? Self admitted liar. Yes, but snitch. Not so sure. Yes, he's a snitch. In the streets, keep your mouth shut by those standards. I like that answer. He looked really good last night. I think he held caught a bunch of BS. I think there was some truth mixed in with that. I think it was some truth and some cap. I think it was both. I think he took his cap off and sprinkled some truth in. This is what I agree with right here, 100%. Yes and no, but self-preservation. Yeah. I think he told the truth when he said he was taught to, preserve himself to the police. Good morning, Audrey. No. Yeah, dream. That's true. Yes, but he has immunity. He's a finessing survivor. Yeah. I like Woody. I do. But you can tell there's a lot of street in Woody. Self preservation is snitching, literally the main reason for it. In survival mode. Yeah. Yeah. I think it put more of a target on him than he realized it was going to, though, because they were shooting at him and then I think it got worse, you know. I don't think he cares about immunity. I think he cares about it a little bit more than you might think he does. So, here we go. Make sure their volume turned all the way up.
I've listened to the jail call from yesterday, and I've looked at the orders. And Ms. Weaver's just provided a rough of the transcript, so I'll take a look at the transcript and then get back to y'all on that. Good morning. I'll see what I think after I read everything. Okay.
Oh, she's in a mood this morning.
One thing, and I don't know whether this got resolved, but I noticed that there was an email at some point that was asking about a couple of states' exhibits that might be the same thing. And I don't know if we need to deal with that or if y'all have already dealt with it.
Ass nut.
430Y and 437Y, which were videos. Is that still an outstanding issue? That may be something we covered yesterday. Mr. Steele did, or somebody from his firm. August 8th. I mean, it may be exhibits we dealt with yesterday or the day before anyway. I just have been kind of marking things in emails to that we need to cover and want to make sure this got covered. Morning.
Thank you for yesterday. I would have sent that email, but I don't remember August 8th email. Can you let me see it or just tell me?
I mean, it says it appears the state's exhibits 430Y and 437Y are the exact same video. Shows Mr. Sledge, Mr. Jeffery Williams, Mr. Shannon Stillwell, and others in-house talking over each other. Mr. Sledge flashes money. And I don't know who you're talking to then, but it says, can you explain why either proposed exhibit is admissible and why are there two proposed exhibits?
I think we dealt with that, not yesterday, but earlier this
I
week.
thought so too. I just wanted to double check before I cross that off my list. Okay. All right. So do we want to do the other, were there any issues with the other CAD reports that are?
Don't judge, Jason. I'm kind of stuck in the 80s myself.
Folder.
Your Honor, I have not received any objections from defense counsel related to
Okay.
the exhibits in that folder.
Are there any? It would have been in the group of 31 through 60 witnesses and the counts 3 through 7 folder, the Sharon Latner folder within that.
Judge, I didn't see any issues with the CAD report that haven't been previously discussed. However, I'm still obviously going through them again. But
Sure you
I
are.
didn't see anything
Okay,
preliminary.
well, told y'all to do that last night and bring them to my attention today.
Didn't see anything.
Okay. All right, I'm going to assume then that there aren't any objections to any parts of those CAD reports.
Understood.
All right. And were we going to come back? I can't remember. We were to the Jean-Pierre social media. Is that because y'all needed a chance to look at that?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
I believe that I was going to narrow down which videos we were going
Okay.
to use, and I did narrow them down. But what I did not do, and I will do that now, is email over the timestamps that we think are relevant that we will plan to introduce, so
Okay.
that defense counsel can take a look at it, and maybe we can talk offline if there are any objections.
Okay. Did you get that finished last night or this morning?
I finished viewing it last night. What I did not do was email the timestamps.
Why did you not? So that they could have a chance to look at it before court.
Get them,
That
sis
was
Whit.
on me, around. We were working on some other items, and so I just
All right. Can
I
you
had to find them, and so I will send those.
try to, like, when I give you tasks that you're supposed to do overnight, so that
Do
we
it.
can discuss them the next morning in court or the next day in court, please communicate across the aisle to the other side so that they can also be prepared.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. It's not unreasonable. And then we were going to come back on counts 27 through 29 to something with Smith. I can't really decipher my notes sometimes. What was that about?
Perhaps, Your Honor, this is something that I brought up about the videos. I knew that there were several videos of co-indictees that are not sitting for trial doing live streams and kind of broadcasting things to the world about this alleged crime that none of us are charged with.
Okay.
And I
Uh-oh.
raised some concerns. One of them, I understood that the state had a video of Mr. Beebe wearing a trap commander chain, but I was suggesting that maybe a still shot would.
Yeah, y'all, the state would, thank you. The state was gonna narrow those down and figure out which you wanted to look at or which you wanted to use and which you weren't.
That's what I just addressed, Your Honor.
Okay.
Those are the timestamps. Those are the 3 videos that we looked at. We have identified the relevant timestamps of those videos.
So that's all the same thing, the
Yes.
Jean-Pierre social media and that's within count. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. And then I think the next thing we were going to tackle was the whatever co-conspirator statements or other supposedly admissible statements there were within the wiretaps. Is that what we were doing next?
We were doing that, and then we also wanted
Very cool,
to
Quarter Hawk.
see if Mr. Steele or Mr. Adams could identify which jail calls that.
Oh,
with
right.
Kenneth
Yes,
Copeland
thank you.
and-
As kind of first thing on the agenda. So I think maybe Mr. Steele, you had provided as reciprocal discovery some possible jail calls that maybe Mr. Copeland was a party to.
Yes, Your Honor. Did that in October, on October 20.
So are we.
2023. I served on the state. They served on me numerous jail calls.
Okay.
I served on the state. They did not serve on me any jail calls from Forsyth County Jail.
Okay.
So I found out Mr. Copeland was housed there. There's approximately 163 jail calls from Forsyth County. I served that on them, I don't know, 11 months ago, maybe, whatever that comes out to. It's only a 3-week period from February 16th, 2023 jail calls to March 7th, 2023. And I am narrowing what I'm going to use
Okay.
on the cross-examination of Mr. Copeland. Also, the state served on me huge amounts of jail calls of Mr. Copeland. So I'm going to, I believe, use some of what the state served on me.
Okay.
And I'd rather not serve it on the state until they are done with the witness, because I assume that then the state will just take my cross-examination from me. So I'm not trying to play gamesmanship. I didn't have to serve any of those jail calls because I would never use them in my case in chief. It's just on cross. I'll do whatever, obviously, you tell me to do, but if I serve it on the state and then they use it on their direct, I don't really see the purpose of me just giving away impeachment evidence.
Okay.
In addition to that, there are not going to be many jail calls to listen to. And what I plan to do is, once the state surrenders the witness on direct examination, I would get all my exhibits to the court, to the state, to the court reporter, like I said, and the jail calls, I won't use them for a while. My cross, I believe, is going to be lengthy, days on Mr. Copeland.
Okay.
So, you know, they'll have plenty of time, in my opinion, to listen
Oh,
to the jail
days?
calls. I'm talking about a total of maybe 10, 11, maximum, maybe a minimum of 2 or 3.
Okay. So you'll provide that, which jail calls you're going to use at the beginning of your cross.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That answers the question if he's gonna
So
he's gonna
then
cross
let's
Woody.
move
He said it's gonna take
tackle
days.
this Wiretap evidence.
Wow. He said it's gonna take days to cross Woody. Days. Oh my goodness. That threw me for a loop. What? That is going to be wild. I cannot wait for that. Oh, Monday cannot get here fast enough. Oh, wow.
And where would be the best
morning,
place
Erica.
for us to all look so that we're looking at the same or
Ooh.
listening to the same thing?
Mr. Atkins served on the court and the defendants, I believe.
We got to talk
a
Jason into
Dropbox
going
link that
Monday.
Contains these calls.
Oh,
that
I'm
we've
sorry.
identified, and they are in order of the way we would be addressing
I'll turn my
them.
mic down.
So we can resend the Dropbox link if anyone needs it.
Is it the August 8th one or is it a different one?
I think it's a different one. I'll let him speak.
It's a different one, Your Honor.
Okay.
I will pull up the dates. It's the co-conspirator Dropbox that was on a Friday. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
He is.
Your Honor,
Yes.
well, that's being done. Can I ask the court of inquiry?
Sure.
Mr. Adams is, I'm assuming he told you, but he's doing another matter, which is no problem for myself or Mr. Williams. But at approximately 1:50 to approximately 3 today, so an hour and 10 minutes, I have to be, with the court's permission, on this case, but have to be outside your courtroom. So I can't believe I could say this, but my wife was going to sit in
Okay.
with me, and that's okay with Mr. Williams. Is that okay? Colette comes, and her name is Colette, Colettete, Steele, Steel, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. She's been in my court before. That is fine, long as somebody's here.
Thank you.
All right.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And that link has been resent to all parties, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're going to see Mrs. Steele. I'm interested to see his wife.
Another matter, which is no problem for myself or Mr. Williams, but at approximately 1:50 to approximately 3 today, so an hour and 10 minutes, I have to be, with the court's permission, on this case, but have to be outside your courtroom. So
I promise you, I really am working. I really am.
I can say that, but my wife is going to sit in
Okay.
with me,
His wife.
and that's okay with Mr. Williams. Is that okay? And her name is Colette.
Can you cut off
Colettete,
YouTube in the background? It's echoing real bad.
Steel, if that-
Did you hear? He's going to be crossing Woody for days.
All right, and would this be in the folder
That's gonna be
labeled
awesome.
additional co-conspirator statements, or where do we find it?
So, Your Honor, it's labeled D. Barlington 470, and it ends in 7355.
Got it.
And it has the wiretaps. They're saved, so we're going to be using. It stands for PDF page because the report that they generated was a 6,000 page PDF. So we will be referencing, for example, the first one is PDF page 17. So at the bottom of the Darlington
6,000
wiretap
page.
folder, you'll see P17 and then 11 March 22 at 10:05 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
6,000 page PDF. Good morning, Captain Flattastic. Jennifer Replay Crew, love you.
And Judge, what I'll do is I'll do whatever the court says, but what I'm suggesting is that I give a summary of what we're about to play, tell the court the timestamps, and then play them unless the defense wants to just tell us in advance what they object to, whatever the court says.
Okay, well, if we don't need to listen to all of them, there's no reason to listen to all of them right now. So does the defense know which ones they're gonna have objection to?
How about all of them? But I don't accept, there is a summary, a state summary in the exhibit that you just got forwarded by Mr. Atkins, and I appreciate him outlining that. I do. That makes it much easier for us to go seriatim through the wiretaps. But the summaries are in large part partially accurate. They're not fully accurate. So I'm confident that a number of us will
He's got an
object
awesome
to all of this. And for the
braid.
court's information, I don't believe any of the people on these conversations.
I haven't seen a
will be
braid like that
testifying.
since like the 80s.
So, in that regard, I think we need to go through them item by item.
Okay.
We didn't intend that the summaries be the portion.
Okay, I don't actually, the bottom of mine is 20 March 22. I don't see an 11 March 22. Unless it's not the actual bottom.
It's at the top of the calls on the Dropbox link.
Greetings.
Page 4. For different people.
You know, that's fine. I think what Ms. Persfield saved for me separately may be in a better order. Okay. Okay. Yeah, over here, they're. All right. I mean, if you're gonna play them, I don't need to open them anyway. I don't see a summary though. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Mr. Atkins, I believe, also forwarded a
Oh,
spreadsheet.
separately, yeah, okay.
And if your honor would like that, we can resend it.
That's fine. I can find it if it.
I don't think so.
matters.
I think defense is going to take him to school. Steele is there. He said he had something to do outside of the courtroom. I think he's up to something. I don't know. He might be going to the appeals court to file a motion to quash. I don't know. He might have something to do in another courtroom with another case. We just don't know at this point. I have a feeling we'll find out shortly. But his wife is actually stepping in for him, which I'm interested to see how she handles things. That'll be interesting. That I want to see what she looks like. What does the woman of Steel look like? Remember, he is not the defense's witness. So I don't think the defense is going to be
I
easy.
found the email that has the wiretap calls guide and call detail reports. Is that what y'all are referencing as a summary, or is there something else?
Your Honor, there's a separate Excel spreadsheet that Deputy Hilton sent to the parties that we will resend.
Oh, Miss Hilton. Okay.
Yes, Your
I was
Honor.
looking for
It's highlighted
something
in
that
yellow.
had come from, yeah, somewhere.
And that came on Sunday at 1:40.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I've got that somewhere. All right, go ahead. Let's get started with the first one.
So the first one is going to be the call that is labeled page 1711, March 22. The time stamps that we will be playing is 27 seconds in through 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
He already said that. Am I the only one that heard that? He said that one time. Didn't he say Thug did it one time? It was a quick utterance, but I thought I heard him say Thug did it.
Oh, that shit was Chris name.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that shit, that was crazy, boy.
Man, I'm just going through what I'm calling when I had them posts. He told man, tell Corey, I said, what wrong? I told you that.
Yeah, that what I got there. That was like, man, that shit, that just too crazy.
But that's a fool. Boy, I'm like, damn, boy.
They must hit, they hit them up on this.
I don't know. I think he the one that got shot in the head. I don't. Like, everybody been said he hadn't died first. Like, that's what they were saying at first. They were like, bro was in critical condition for a minute.
I heard he got hit in the head.
Yeah, but Roger had they got down told him what had to him. He had that DM and like, man, brother died too. So we'll just turn on the video chat shit. But he was like came from, Roger said he came from some here, but Quake just said they got into it with when they was at Chit Chat, they got into it with them henchmen niggas.
Who niggas?
Man, look, I think them niggas look all I rent them folk, man. You know, on folk been going back and forth, they gonna answer.
Young Thug is talking to somebody on the phone.
Nah, not him, but like his little young nigga.
Oh yeah, I heard that little Hitchman shit.
Yeah, Quake say when be
Look, I'm cutting the volume down a little bit, y'all, because it's just so bad. I hope that's okay with everybody.
Yeah. That's crazy right now.
My cousin just called him, so he know what he told me to pull up. He got down, he know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up and got down, see what the hell going on.
So what the hell you want coming from the court?
Yeah, man, it went look cool, man.
I downloaded it.
So I thought he was in traffic or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cause everybody going to traffic.
Downloaded an AI.
I be telling that nigga let go to traffic.
Closed caption. It's supposed to be populating, but it's not.
Okay.
Lose their mom up by 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Then like somebody got shot up, but they ain't really showing it.
Yeah.
I get on Instagram by 6, 7, like 7, 8 of them. Somebody, I'm like, damn, that's what it was.
Hey, yeah, man. I ain't know, man. Them folks blowing my phone up.
You know what I'm saying? Them folks were on. Them folks, they ain't seen none of them niggas in the car.
Nah, like, man. Yeah, it was just them two, I think. I don't know. I ain't heard nothing, bro. I ain't called nobody.
Man, that nigga running, man. What the hell wrong with this nigga, man? That nigga walk so goddamn fast.
I ain't talking nobody but Ed B.
Oh, Ed B.
Yeah, you know he don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ed B just laying low.
I think this is an important call, so I'm going to turn it up.
Okay.
They're talking about the shooting.
The girl in charge is tripping, man. Call your phone, somebody. This ain't hitting them. Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
Okay. And what the hell you been doing? You got perk?
Man, I ain't got nothing, bro. No weed, no perk, no nothing. Tay finna got down, nigga, 21, nigga, he finna got down. He said he just called this boy. He went on nothing hit back.
Oh, okay. What that folk be want for the week?
No, you know, I got folk got down some 26.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't beat them right now.
Yeah.
Judge, this call was made on.
They were talking about the shooting. That was an important one.
2 persons who were YSL associates were killed, Mr. Ford and Mr. McMiller. It was after that. What we've heard is a call, as the court is aware, from Mr. Garlington's wiretap, where he is talking and apprising an associate, unindicted, unnamed co-conspirator, whom we believe is a person called Dwoskin Watt, right? WRIGHT. We believe that he is a 30 deep member. Nonetheless, regardless of who it is he's talking to, that person is an unindicted co-conspirator as well. In discussing what has just happened, they are alerting one another to something that has happened to one of theirs, and they are letting each other know what, for instance, Funk and Big Slime.
He said it would be
in that they rushed to the car to get the fire. They had gotten into it. My cousin had told me he just pulled up. He know what happened. I'm fist to pull up, see what come up. All of this precedes the Shamel Drinks murder. This is YSL associates getting one another informed so that YSL associates can take necessary steps, we believe, to avenge what has happened. And I said, big slime. I think that that's B slime. And because of all of that, we believe that this is a co-conspirator statement, which furthers the interest of the conspiracy, that is YSL, by allowing them to properly conduct themselves following the murder of 2 of their own associates.
All right.
I actually feel like this should be let in.
On something, Your Honor. Okay, in Ms. Hilton's spreadsheet, it says time of statement 310 to 325. But then we just heard it. I'm just trying to know what the state's trying to admit. Is it that whole call? Is it just 310 to 325 and the whole call was played for context? I want to know what we're arguing over.
It's 27 seconds to 3 minutes. I said 325, but it was more like 338 seconds. It's not all the way at the end where they're talking about the perks and the 12s and the 26s.
Okay. So I don't know if you have in front of you what Ms. Hilton had provided earlier. In her time of statement says 3 minutes, 10 seconds to 3 minutes, 25 seconds. So just for clarification, will y'all be intending to play the entirety of what you played just now, 27 seconds to 3, whatever it is?
Yes.
3:25 or so. So, okay.
Okay, this is why we have guardrails on trials. The state just leaned over to talk to each other about who this could possibly be. They don't know how to say his name. They think it could be this person. And then they confidently declare he's an unindicted co-conspirator. They don't even know his name.
That is a good point.
This gentleman, whomever it is that Mr. Garland is talking about, we've never received a list of unindicted co-conspirators, and it's just...
Okay, I suspect that's because if they knew their identity, they would be indicted co-conspirators. Do you know
No,
I know that there are some who they know the identity of, but do you know the identity of this person?
Not with certainty. That's just what, when we asked the question, like, who do you think that this is? Investigator Vivarito said, I believe that is, and she gave us a name.
Okay.
But there was not a further investigation on the recipients or the
So then it
callers
shouldn't be
that were
let in.
captured in
I think
calls.
these are
It's the context
blah,
of
blah.
the calls themselves that allow us to designate the nature of the call.
Okay.
Well, okay. So that,
I can't even laugh
that
at- well-
call, I don't know how anyone could determine that someone's an unindicted co-conspirator from the nature of that call. They're talking about past events. They're talking about gentlemen. It appears they're talking about gentlemen who were murdered earlier in that day. They're talking about past events. There's no, as
We
far
don't
as
know
I
who
can
they're
tell,
talking
there's no
about, who they are.
planning. To the extent that they're saying, oh, well, it's co-conspirators keeping themselves apprised. I don't know how they can make that statement with such confidence without
One of
even
my favorite movies.
knowing who the person is. And I'm aware, Your Honor, that the case law, that the declarant needs to be a co-conspirator, not necessarily the receiver. However, if you're going to make the argument it's to
That
keep
would be garbage.
gang members or associates apprised, then yes, I believe that the receiver also needs to be part of the conspiracy. So I don't see how this furthers the conspiracy in any way. There doesn't seem to be a conspiracy. And I'll say one other thing that is going to be a common thread throughout these arguments. The alleged facts.
Steele's leaving
the
in a little
alleged
bit.
facts of the Shamal Drinks murder. There's video camera, and And there's video camera that puts my client and a car that he's in, and allegedly Demikian Garlington's in that car, although he's never seen on any sort of video. That's the state's allegation. In a separate car is what appears to be Mr. Nichols and Mr. Farley in a car, and I think they're alleging Mr. Boyer is also in that car. They're on video at the gas station. By happenstance, Mr. Drinks pulls up to that gas station after they're already there. Now, let me be very clear. Mr. Stillwell did not commit this crime. However, I will say that Mr. Drinks was shot within minutes of him showing up at the gas station where these gentlemen already were. So by even the state's theory, there's
Why
no
would you say that?
conspiracy
Why would you even
to
say
kill
that?
Mr. Drinks. It's sheer happenstance. And by the state's theory, which we are saying is not true, the decision to kill Mr. Drinks would have occurred within minutes of the death.
Okay.
So
well,
there's not, so it's all based on happenstance, a chance encounter according to the state's theory. There's no grand conspiracy here.
the two aren't mutually exclusive in that there could be a conspiracy to kill people whenever you happen upon them. So, I mean,
Okay, and
you can make that argument, but they can certainly make the counter argument.
Okay, and in that case, if that is a conspiracy to kill people, and again, we're just kind of assuming that there's no evidence of that, but nothing in this call furthers any such conspiracy.
Well, honestly, it would have helped to have known what you said after the call, before the call, so that I know what I'm listening for. So I'm going to need to listen to the call again. Okay. And then let's do it the other way for the remaining calls.
Will do.
And
Why
also,
listen
there
to the
was,
call again? We don't even know who these
pre-hearing,
people
and I'll
are.
tell you that you're going to hear in the call, one apprising the other that SB is laying low with his folks. There's that comment in there, but I'll play it again.
All right.
We don't even know who these people are. They could be anybody off the street. She's going to let it in. This is ridiculous. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. So I'm going to mute it while it plays again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that shit, that was crazy, boy.
Man, I'm just going through what I'm calling when I had them posts. He told man, tell Corey, I said, what's wrong?
I'm cutting it down while it plays again.
Yeah, that's why I got that on. Like, man, that shit, that's just too crazy.
I do not believe that she's even considering letting this in. This blows my mind.
That shit don't want no this.
I don't know. I think he the one that got
Context of what?
Like, everybody
Context of what? I get it.
That's what they were saying at first.
And Judge,
Even the prosecution is saying that they are not for sure who these people are. They could be YSL. They could be Joe Bob and Billy Bob down the road. We don't know.
I said that wrong. I'm sorry. I was reading notes.
Why did we stop the call? Do I got to bring my 10-year-old niece in there to show them how to use Bluetooth? It's turned all the way up. Yeah, the volume's turned all the way up. They're just not talking.
We think a timeline might help you as well. So we're going to give you a little bit more background than what I just gave you. We're going to start further back.
So, Your Honor, just so the court is aware, we believe that the Shamel Drinks murder is the culmination of a few different events, really starting in February of 2022. On February 9th, 2022, Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci, was stabbed in the Fulton County Jail by Jaden Myrick, a YSL associate. He did not pass away, so believing that they wanted to finish the job On February 22nd, 2022, another YSL associate, Christian Eppinger, reached out to another
I
YSL
think we would understand
associate,
what Toy Box.
Antonio Sumlin, to get permission to finish off what Jaden Myrick did not do. That information about Mr. Bennett being stabbed in the jail in February hit the media sometime early March. I think maybe around March 3rd or March 4th is when that information was released to the media. On March 11th, in the early morning hours,
Ankita?
that is when Christian McMiller and Darius Ford were murdered. Pending that release, we believe that they were
I hope
murdered
I
by
didn't butcher your
YSL
name.
associates. We have shell casings from the murder scene that match a shooting that happened on March 16th that I'll get to in a moment. After the shooting of Mr. Ford and Mr. McMiller in the early morning hours on March 11th, there was another shooting on March 12th in which a YSL associate, Stephen Harris, shot at in the direction of 12 Atlanta Avenue, which is a YFN stronghold, hitting a YFN associate. His name is escaping me at the moment. Following that, there is a call that the court will hear in a moment in which there's a shootout on Cleveland Avenue in which Demekion Garlington and I believe Mr. Stillwell are involved in a shootout on Cleveland Avenue. Following that, in the morning hours of, I believe it's the 13th of March, it might be in the early morning hours of the 12th of March, there is a drive-by shooting near 2830 Waters Road. This is what we believe is the trap house of Big Nick, who is, I think it's Nicholas Carter, forgive me on the last name, but he is a YSL associate. Following that shootout is when there's some social media postings, Your Honor, in which Shell Kel, who you've heard of, Kelvin Watts, repost a picture with Shamel Drinks, Kelvin Watts, and another individual that could have had some subliminal messaging that they were the persons responsible for killing Christian McMiller and Darius Ford a few days earlier. Those posts were posted around between the 12th.
She just said they were giving a timeline. You can back it up and hear what she
Also,
said.
there were some other social media posts from YSL associates.
I've already cut my mic down one time.
They are
I'll
not
put
going
it
to
down
be the only
again.
ones crying tonight, things of that nature. Then we had the murder of Shamel Drinks on March 14th at about 9:55 p.m. in the evening. And then following the murder of Shamel Drinks, we have on March 16th in the early morning hours around 12 o'clock a.m., another drive-by shooting at 2830 Waters Road, where you will hear some wiretap calls of Mr. Garlington, Mr. Stillwell, and Mr. Farley actually at the house during the time of the drive-by shooting, or immediately after the drive-by shooting. And then Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Nichols are apprehended on March 17th. So understand that timeline. A number of these early wiretap calls are going to come into that time period with when all those events are happening. Go further and going into the conspiracy.
All right, thank you. That's helpful.
They were like, bro was in critical condition for a minute.
I heard you got hit in the head.
Yeah, Roger had they got there told me what had to him. He had them DM me like, man, brother died too. So we'll turn on the video chat shit.
Do we hear court okay? Because I
But
found
he
a
like-
louder
he like
stream if
came-
you guys want me to
Roger, they
change
came
to the
some
louder
here, but-
stream. Just let me know in the chat.
Quay just
One, if you
said
can hear it
they
okay.
got into it
Two,
with-
if it's
when-
not.
When they was
So,
at chit chat, they got into it with them henchmen nigga.
Who, nigga?
Man, I think them niggas all I rent them folk, man. You know,
Oh, they got
folk,
you,
folk, they going back and forth, they gonna answer.
Nigga, all I rent?
Nah, not him, but like his little young nigga.
Oh yeah, I heard that little hitman shit.
Yeah, Quay say when B Slime just had the show, for B Slime them got down, rushed to the car to get the file, some shit. They hadn't got into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy right now.
My cousin just called him, so he know what, he told me to pull up. He got now, you know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up and got now, see what the hell going on.
So what the hell you want coming from the car?
Yeah, man, it went a little cord, man.
Oh yeah, so I thought he was in traffic or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought, cause everybody going to traffic. You like, I be telling the nigga, they go to traffic. But I ain't even say nothing to him last night, saying to put the clothes on. Okay.
I knew their mom up by 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And like somebody got shot in the car. But they ain't really showing them.
Yeah.
I get on Instagram by 6, 7, I remember at 7, 8 or something. I'm like, damn, that way it was.
Hey, yeah, man. I ain't know, man. I'm folks blowing my phone up.
You know what I said? Them folks were on one. Them folks, they ain't seen none of them niggas in the car.
Nah,
Like,
man. Yeah, it was just them two, I think. I don't know. I ain't heard nothing, bro. I ain't called nobody.
Man, that nigga running, man. What the hell wrong with this nigga, man? That nigga walk so goddamn fast.
I ain't talking nobody but Ed B.
Oh, Ed B.
Yeah, you know he on though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ed B just laying low.
Nah, he with his folk.
Okay. Yeah, the girl in charge is tripping, man. I called his phone, somebody, this ain't his number. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what the hell you finna do though? You got perk?
Man, I ain't got nothing, bro. No weed, no perk, no nothing. Tay finna got down.
I just stopped it at the 3:45 mark rather than go
All right. All right. Both of the speakers seem very familiar with who the people are, and it may not be. I'll give you. They don't seem to be plotting any retaliation in this call, but they do seem to be getting apprised of what's going on, and it be an all-out war and things like that. So I'm gonna permit that under the co-conspirator exception.
Can I, Judge, on behalf of Mr. Nichols, I'm going to join in
Of
to each of
course
these.
you
and I
are.
may
Of
have
course
something
you
additional.
are.
I do want to
You're
say that
kidding me
for
right
all
now.
of these, I don't know whether the state has established that there was a conspiracy that existed, which is
We don't
the
even know who
first
these people
element
are.
of any admission of 801D2E purported statements. And I think what I heard in this, although a lot more was played than was in the spreadsheet, and I understand that may have just been a mistake, but I heard a lot of "I think" and "who is that?" And it sounds like I got that on Instagram. So I want to have a continuing objection, and I'll object again when it's appropriate, to what's commonly referred to as nested hearsay, which is somebody saying what somebody else said. It's hearsay nested within hearsay. So I don't know whether, well, I don't agree, of course, with the court's ruling. I'll abide by it, but I think there's more to it than just they're telling them what's going on. I think they're telling them what they heard, what's on Instagram, and I want to make sure that this quay, somebody said quay, not qua, or qua, but quay. And I think the response was, "Who's that?" And then they talked a little bit about that. That is not Mr. Nichols. And if there is any dispute about that, we can go into that further.
All right. Well, with regard to the nested hearsay objection, I don't think that what got posted on Instagram or anything like that that might be nested. It's only hearsay if it's being offered for the truth, and that type is not, I think, being offered the truth. Is that correct, Ms. Love? It's being offered to show that they are trying to keep apprised of the latest that's going down between these rivaling factions. So overruled. And I mean, yeah, it certainly sounds like quay to me. And so if there's going to be any,
there's not going to be speculation unless someone decides he wants to tell who that is. There's not going to be any speculation about who Quay is or
all right,
assertion that it's Nichols.
okay, let's move to the next one.
I'm at Darlington.
And then y'all give me kind of the rundown of what I need to be listening for and why you think it's admissible under a co-conspirator exception
Yes, Your
before
Honor.
I listen to it.
Yes, Your Honor. The next one that we're going to play is the call on page 25 from March 12th, 2022. And this is a call that speaks to the portion of the indictment regarding the sale of narcotics to support the enterprise. And on this call, Mr. Garlington is on the phone with the female who is asking, where are the people with the perks? Mr. Garlington's response is, SB says he has no more. Everybody in the studio just wants some. Everybody in the studio wants some. They just bought him out. I'm going to let the court hear it. That's just a summary of what we have, but in terms of,
And that's what counts of either the indictment or overt acts.
it's count one, more appropriately looked at on page.
So it's not a separate count, it's just an overt act.
Right, but under
Okay.
part one, the conspiracy, if the court, in the, both the body of the count itself and underneath the description of the conspiracy, where we list obtaining money, weapons, and other property through acts of racketeering activity, including, inter alia, the unlawful sale and distribution of drugs.
Your Honor, to address your question, in overacts or substantive counts, neither Mr. Stillwell nor Mr. Garlington are charged with distribution of drugs. That's nowhere in the indictment.
The conspiracy is described as that.
Where, what page of
Page
the?
12, I believe, if you have it labeled the way I have it, but it is directly under count one, after the names are listed and after the statute itself is described, we have in the indictment part one, the conspiracy. And if the court looks at the fourth bullet point under the paragraph labeled part one,
All
the
right.
conspiracy.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. And then do you have overt acts that are?
We do have that, some that are drug related,
Okay.
not one that describes this particular transaction, but we have some that are drug related. I want to be clear that
Where are those? Which numbers?
count, I'm sorry, act number 3, possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute by Shannon Stillwell. Act number 8, possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute by Antonio Sledge. Also in the counts themselves at the very back, we have count 60, Martinez Arnold, Diamante Kendricks, Jeffrey Arnold Jeffrey Williams charged with possession of cocaine. They are also charged with.
It just, possession of cocaine doesn't get anybody any money.
Violation of count 59, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of codeine with the intent to distribute, count 58, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute.
All right.
They are charged with gang activity, to wit, possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, possession of codeine with the intent to distribute.
All right, and so this would be evidence simply of the pattern of racketeering activity by members of the alleged RICO enterprise.
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'll point out that these are different individuals, different types of drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and from absent the count that the count involving Mr. Williams from 2022, those other examples of drug-related overacts are from approximately 9 years before this wiretap.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the counts, the substantive counts that you just referred to, they're all on May 9th, 2022. You should know that's the date that Mr. Williams was arrested. He has a home, he has many homes actually in Atlanta and elsewhere. And law enforcement officers found several people who lived at that home. This was not a distribution.
I mean, I understand very clearly that the state's alleging this and the state's proving it as, yeah, I understand. People have drugs. They may be illegal, but people have drugs. People have parties. Sometimes people have a lot of drugs. And establishing that you've got a lot of drugs and establishing that you are intending to distribute those drugs to garner additional money for your alleged enterprise are two entirely different things. That'll be up to the jury to decide. They can offer their proof. I mean, that's not what I'm here to decide. I'm here to decide, is it admissible under the rules of evidence? So I hear what you're saying. You're gonna have to tell that to the jury. That's not up to me. All right, so so I understand the purpose for it. So let's go ahead and hear do we know who the female is?
We do not have information definitively.
All right,
Hold on,
go ahead.
let me see. Okay, wait a minute. Based on the information that we received from Investigator Viverito, the female may be a young woman by the name of, well, I don't want to give her whole name, but her last name is Jones.
Okay.
And she is the mother of one of our defendants' child.
Okay.
So in terms of the portion that we're playing, we're starting at 51 seconds. Zero, 51.
Family friendly channel, guys. No name calling, please. No cursing.
I'm sorry, going to 51 seconds, starting at the beginning of the call.
All right.
Hello.
Where the hell you going?
Right here finna go. Everybody finna go. They finna go to Coca-Cola. We got now.
Okay, where the nigga with the person?
Huh?
Where the nigga with the person?
Huh?
Where the nigga with the person?
If he say he ain't got no more.
He don't got no more.
Yeah. We at the studio. We at the studio. You know you gonna get
I'm outside the studio.
You just seen me run out then.
Right, that's why I said where you going. So you don't know nobody else that got some?
Everybody in the studio just had some song. They just bought them out.
And I stopped at 52 seconds, but it was just after he said they just bought him out.
So whether it proves it or not is yet to be determined, but I'll permit that under a co-conspirator exception to hearsay.
And for the record, Your Honor, I would also argue not only is this not part of any conspiracy, but also that Mr. Garlington informing someone that Mr. Stillwell is out of pills is not in furtherance of him selling pills.
No, but it might establish that it's something that he typically does.
I understand why the state wants it in, to show that my client's a drug dealer, which is why I want it out. But the hook for admissibility is that it's in furtherance of the conspiracy, as I understand the law of co-conspirator statements, and I don't believe it's in the furtherance of any conspiracy.
It's the state's response to that.
That in asking for the pills, where are the pills, and in giving the information that the studio, they just bought him out. They are furthering the conspiracy by requesting more to be re-upped and getting information about where they are in terms of their supply. This furthers the conspiracy, that aspect of the conspiracy wherein they sell or distribute narcotics to gain money, weapon, or other property through racketeering activity, including the unlawful sale and distribution of drugs.
Well, that doesn't work for 801D2E. The declarant needs to be part of the conspiracy. Someone requesting pills from Mr. Garlington is not in any way, under any argument, cannot be part of any YSL conspiracy. A buyer and a seller are not part of the same conspiracy. And so we have an unknown declarant who's seeking to buy pills, and the state is seeking to admit their statements as part of a conspiracy. And I don't believe that fits under the hearsay exception.
Your Honor, the conspiracy is not the interaction between those two people. The conspiracy is the broader conspiracy of the YSL enterprise and how they conduct their operations. So in as much as they sell and distribute narcotics to gain property and other activity, the conversation wherein Mr. Garlington is attempting to gain more narcotics, this young woman is asking where the perks at. She's trying to get narcotics from a YSL member, and Mr. Garlington is saying that Shannon says, or SB says, he doesn't have any more, but everybody in the studio wants some. They just bought him out. If the court considers the Georgia Supreme Court's liberal standard applied to determining whether or not their statements in some way further the conspiracy, the statements can be construed to mean we're trying to re-up. I'm apprising you, this girl who is also, we would argue, an unindicted. She is in the sense that she is participating in the drug aspect of this larger conspiracy. She is participating in an effort to continue the sale or distribution of drugs within the YSL enterprise.
Okay, so I think it does show that Mr. Garlington is involved in, has knowledge of SB's supply chain and when he has it and when he doesn't and what has just happened. They've just been bought out. I'm gonna permit it. Again, whether that's an ultimately successful and convincing argument is for the jury.
John,
You may.
And for the proposition that buyer and seller cannot be co-conspirators, it's Darville, DARVILLE, v. State, 289 Georgia 698 at 715. It's a 2011 case.
All right, but it doesn't appear that Mr. Garlington is a buyer or a seller right now. He seems to be kind of a middleman for communication. So if your argument's he's a buyer or a seller and it can't be both the buyer and the seller, that's not who's having a conversation.
No, my argument was that the state's seeking to get in the words of this young lady who is clearly a buyer. And if we're saying that YSL is a set of sellers, a conspiracy of sellers, she cannot be a conspirator with them. And that's my argument.
Okay, well, I'm admitting his statements under the co-conspirator exception, and hers would just be to give context to what on earth he is talking about.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Understanding the court's ruling, can the record also show that you consider that this is spilling the beans and it's not in furtherance of the conspiracy, because all it's doing is saying the person doesn't have something that does not further the conspiracy. It's not like he is going to rob someone to get the drugs. So I just ask that the record show we're not waiving that issue.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, the court, I wasn't certain whether Mr. Steele was asking the court to find that, or if he was just saying that that was their objection. I just wanted that clarity. Was he?
Well, I'm sure he would like for me to find that it wasn't in furtherance of the conspiracy. So yes, I do think he's asking that. He's objecting on that basis.
Thank you.
Understood. He's making the record clear.
Thank you.
All right. What's the next one?
The next call is on page 40. This is Mr. Stillwell speaking with Mr. Garlington.
And what's this going to be about?
And in that particular call,
Okay. I mean, I think the summary provided by Ms. Hilton gives me enough context for this one.
okay.
All right.
So we're going to go from the beginning of the call to 1 minute and 12 seconds. It's a 1 minute and 46-second call. And we're not playing because I didn't share.
Yo,
What the hell you got going on?
shit, you got up?
Hey, anybody asked, we went and looked like something in the midnight. Anybody just said we went and looked for them motherfuckers. Can't find it.
Okay.
Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, I know. Well, oh, there you go.
Leaving the room.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Shit, same old shit.
Same shit.
Same shit.
I'm saying, what
Some told me he gonna come pick me up. Shit, that was on.
yeah. Yeah.
Think somebody beat him Rock Low. I said, man, Rock Low ain't getting no coke.
Yeah.
I tried that shit yesterday with a nigga on goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I stopped it at 1 minute and 14 seconds.
What's our argument against this one?
Mr. Stillwell is apparently on the recording, or what's alleged to be Ms. Stillwell saying, but I couldn't find it. I don't know what the state's theory on how this advances a conspiracy. I can guess, but the pronoun it doesn't make a lot of sense to fit their theory. So I don't, from the context, I don't see how that could be in furtherance of a conspiracy. That seems just like talk, which we obviously aren't privy to the conversations that these gentlemen have offline, which would provide context and context that they have it with each other. But that's my objection.
So, Your Honor, we believe this is a party opponent statement of Mr. Stillwell, but from the state's reading of this call, they're trying to do a drive-by shooting, but they can't find the op, just to put it plainly. And then when one is asking what you're getting into and the other one says the same shit, essentially they are apprising one another of their efforts to shoot an opposition gang member.
And I don't know whether it says it or him, but
right.
Regardless, I mean, the whole context of it, you can tell that's exactly what they're talking about is what Ms. Love just offered. Gonna admit it both as an admission by a party opponent and or under the co-conspirator exception.
May we have a continuing objection to all these?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that just because I'm ruling against y'all aren't waiving your objection. Unless, and I still understand it, but do you mean you're now not going to voice objection to the rest of them? You're just going to assume that
No, I was talking
okay.
at trial with the
Yes.
jury.
Yes.
When these are.
The next one is page 60. The applicable portions are from the beginning to (2 minutes and 35 seconds). And in this call, well, we have the summary that's listed. If the court needs more, I can get more.
No, go ahead and listen to it.
Is that the real Woody in the chat?
Oh, Twin.
What are you going, son?
Man, shit. Right here on the east side.
On the east side. What are you been up to?
Man, shit. Chilling.
Yeah.
What the hell you got going, bro? You all right?
Man, that shit crazy. Yeah, man.
Man,
That gay.
oh, God. Main reason why I've been standing in the house, man.
Man, what? That is crazy, bro. Nigga ain't really even trying to go
Yeah,
around. There's been too much going on, bro.
Man, what? I've been chilling with my brother, boy. If I ain't at stop my brother, boy, I'm in the house, man.
Yeah, man.
Man, you know, goddamn, I ain't got that going, you know, you need him. I'm gonna call away, though.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't do that. Like they told me, little bro, it was your little partner. I don't even know the nigga from the independent.
Who?
Yeah, I'm going to give a recap at break, Teresa.
But my mama told me and my brother in the car right now, nigga, we calling these niggas now trying to see what the hell they sell.
Oh.
That nigga, you talking about Lil Dunn daughter?
Nah, hell no. No.
Are you talking about Lil Dunn?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, you might be serving or something.
No. He like that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, cuz, you know what I'm saying? We got down. I go with the whole, but I think the whole like telling him like, you know, I stayed. He talking about what you want to do. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you don't even know me? Why you don't want to play like that?
Man, what?
Yeah, somebody just called me and told me this shit. Like, I don't even fuck with the whole. Like, nigga,
Who?
man, the whole who everybody was just fucking with, man.
What whole twin?
The whole Whitaker.
I don't know her, but I'm gonna holler at Lil Dunn about that.
Yeah, I don't know tonight. What you want? Like, what you want to do back?
About you seen it with your own eyes.
No, nigga say he heard it.
He ordering taco.
Alright, goddamn, you know the little shit with you having something else. She thinks goddamn Shannon and Pope set her up. Yeah, she thinks like they set her up, so she got down like, alright, these niggas want to play like that. Like, I know what all the drops there. Like, I know what all these drops there. So they were like, they heard. Yeah, they were like, they heard. And they were like, all right, so what you want to do? What you want to do like the nigga did?
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't even know you.
Eliminate. And here, don't call that nigga. I ain't got no number for him. I got no ticket. Call. Here you got going on. I'm not here on the street, bro. Who the hell you gonna have the food for?
I'm telling you.
Man, be smooth, man. Come on, man. They probably just tone for a whole so you know how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think you call that nigga right now. Into the back. I got you.
Yeah.
If the court wants to hear from us first, I can, or.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Judge, this call is one in which one is apprising the other of what's going on, letting him know. Mr. Garlington letting the other male know about things that may put them in danger. This person believes, one of the opposition members believe that Shannon and Pokey set her up. He's apprising the other male that he's talking to that this person is asserting they know where all the drops and the
Guys, I'm going to
spots are.
change to another stream since a couple people are saying they can hardly hear.
And keeping them, one
I promise to
another,
be fast.
co-conspirators up to date on possible.
Okay. Here we go. All right, let's try this one.
They're talking about is doing.
I hear from anybody on the defense side.
Same objections, but I heard a lot of nested hearsay in this. There's speculation. There is, I heard it, they heard it.
This one's even better. Hold on. 11 alive.
Within the particular definition of 801D2E. And I just want to say that the courts have said, and I quote, the proponent of the out-of-court statement is not entitled to a free pass. A judicial determination that a co-conspirator's statement tended to further the conspiracy must be supported by some plausible basis in the record. To that extent, the in furtherance requirement represents a real limitation on the admissibility of co-conspirator statements. Here, half of the conversation is by an unknown declarant. We do not know whether or not that person is part of this alleged conspiracy, or even a non-noticed and never noticed alleged co-conspirator. We asked for a list of co-conspirators in November of 2000 or December of 2023. We've never been provided that. And all of a sudden we get into these hearings and everybody in the world, the guy at the gas station, the guy on the corner, Hillary Clinton, they're unindicted co-conspirators. And we find that out when we're sitting here arguing about it. So this is a distinct example of speculation by an unknown declarant.
And I'll add, Your Honor, that, and maybe I'm the only one, but listen to that. I mean, I understand that there seems to be general criminality maybe just discussed, but as far as distinct what they're talking about and distinct crimes, I'm a little lost when I listen to that. So I don't know how, if we don't even really know distinctly what they're talking about, I don't know how we could deem their subject matter part of a distinct conspiracy.
State want to reply?
Yes, Your Honor. I think that the context of this call makes it clear that they are apprising and warning one another of possible harmful actions by an opposition member and keeping one another apprised of possible harm at the hands of opposition is an act that furthers the interest of the conspiracy being the YSL enterprise, the criminal street gang that is YSL, in keeping their members out of harm's way, from being harmed. That type of sharing of information furthers their interest in knowing what the opposition is doing and is about to do and may do to them.
All right, I'm going to rule that that's admissible.
The next call is page 71. Demekion Garlington is asking Shannon Stillwell if he should bring the whatchamacallit. We believe that the whatchamacallit is a gun, and bringing the whatchamacallit allows one YSL member to be prepared for the opposition that we believe they anticipate they may be encountering. So we're going to play the call on page 71 of the PDF.
The state in their lead-in, are they giving the court and us what they believe this is about, or are they quoting to a previous call that they're saying provides context? Because the state just declared like all of these facts, but I don't know if that's based in fact or just kind of their theory.
Judge, we give the court the reason that we believe that the call is pertinent and the reason that we believe it furthers the conspiracy. If there is an alternative interpretation made by anyone, then obviously that's an argument that they can make. But this is the reason that we're offering and attempting to have this deemed admissible. That's what the court asked us to do.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll listen to what's on the call. Okay. And we'll take a restroom break after this call.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yo.
Come outside, bro.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bring a woman calling.
I told you, don't bring it yet, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there more to that conversation, or that's just all we have?
That's all that there is to that call, but we have we have other calls during this time, and Ms. Hilton sort of gave the court the timeline, the reason that we believe that this call is referring to a gun. They're not wanting to say gun, and they are obviously arming themselves for what they believe is about to happen as a result of the fact that two of their associates have just been gunned down.
All right.
Says they're obviously doing this, obviously doing that. And I understand, things are for the jury to determine. But my point, Your Honor, the danger of this is everyone sounds suspect when they're on a wiretap. I mean, when you hear a wiretap conversation, it sounds suspect. And the reality is later on in this, we're going to hear some more calls. And Mr. Stillwell talks about bringing things out wrapped in a towel, bringing things out, make sure it's white. And here's the thing. We litigated some things earlier. Mr. Stillwell was arrested in the middle of a sacrifice of a goat. And the backstory behind that is E5 religion and different practices involving that. We suppressed that information.
What?
There's in this, and I don't think I should have to argue this to the jury and bring up religion, but the reality is there's multiple references of bringing things in towels. And as part of that religion, there's this thing called elekes, and they're the beads. And they're not to be brought outside unless wrapped in a towel, and preferably a white towel. They're supposed to be wrapped, not exposed to the element or outside. So there are alternative explanations for a lot of these things, and it's just bare speculation by the state. And to refute that, I don't really want to get into my client's religion and all of that. And I guess I will if I have to, but there was a reason that was off limits. And if we're just forcing me to present all that just based on bare suspicion by them and speculation, I don't think that's appropriate. I think we have to demand that they have some actual evidence of this is what they're talking about, and it furthers the conspiracy, not, oh, we think this is what they could be talking about. And that's my concern.
Okay. And it seems to me that the timeline that they provided is enough of the evidence to suffice. It's not in a vacuum.
And Your Honor, I would also say that we are pulling calls in an effort not to play all of the calls, because if anybody sat there and listened to them in succession, it would be even clearer than it appears at this moment what they're talking about, and anyone would be able to distinguish when they're talking about their EFA religion versus pulling out a strap or bringing a gun to go shoot someone in a drive-by. So we're pulling these calls to limit the number of calls and evidence that we're presenting to the jury to make the trial more efficient. But the way that I'm hearing it, the only way that you know it to the satisfaction being asserted by counsel is if we play every one of the calls so you could see what it is exactly that they are and are not talking about. But we don't believe that that is necessary.
Okay. Well, I mean, y'all try your case the way you see fit to try it. I'm going to admit this over objection. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, sorry. We were going to take a restroom break. See, I obviously don't need one yet. I'm still up here drinking water. All right. We'll take at 11.
Oh, my goat. Oh, my goat. Y'all, the goats. The goats are real. So, just to recap, just to recap, in case you've missed it, brought into evidence has been a wiretap call between two people that they have no idea who they are, talking about a murder of someone they're not sure. They think they know who it was. And the possible indictment of Hillary Clinton and now Goats. Anybody can get a RICO. Hillary Clinton, I ain't heard about the possible arrest of Hillary Clinton in 4 years. So I got just one thing. Okay. One thing to say to that. Look, just one thing. Look, some Glanville sent me this video and said, this is what he's got to say about goats. So
and now he can go eat. You're welcome.
He's trying to get away. Look. Okay, I know I'm cheesy. Look, I'm well aware of the fact that I'm cheesy. I'm not in denial. Dear Lord, we need feigning Hillary Clinton and Pips playing in the background. Oh, don't make me work on that because I can make that happen. Don't make me work on that. Don't make me work on that, Jason. Because I ain't trying to get a RICO for real. Because I will. That goat me laughing. It's making your 3 p.m. story better. Good. Yeah, Jason wouldn't even tell me what his story was. Like, I want to know. Y'all, I got to stop laughing. My laugh is so awful. I sound like that dog from the old Looney Tunes cartoon. But anyway, so that's where we are. And if you're wondering what evidence, hey, Amethyst Angel, how are you doing? If you're wondering what evidence Sis Wit allowed in, everything. The answer is everything. She allowed everything in. If you're wondering what she's going to let in after our comfort break, everything. She's going to allow everything. I need maximum PIP participation at 3 p.m. Yeah, that was him. Yep, that's what my son used to tell me my laugh sounded like. Deputy a dog. Yep. You guys tell me if that's what my laugh sounds like. I don't know. I try not to laugh. I try to go because my real laugh is it sounds like someone with an asthma attack. The wheeze. It sounds like the wheeze. Except for the relationship between the judge and prosecutors, the prosecution has no idea what a conspiracy is or represents. I would tend to agree with you there. Yeah, it sounds about right. They should be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you guys for keeping this. Don't ever stifle your laugh. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. People just make fun of it. So that's why I kind of like. Thank you for keeping this the best live chat on the internet. You guys are really wonderful. I know the rules, keeping it PG-13 is not always easy, or PG rather, is not always easy, keeping it family friendly. We get in our feels about things and about people, and we want to lash out, and thank you guys for keeping that under control. And we definitely don't want to add go to the bingo card. That's a great idea, Cami. That's a great idea, actually. But we don't ever want to say something we don't mean or that we would regret if we weren't upset. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for keeping that under control. And I definitely don't ever mean any disrespect to anybody if I'm reminding you of rules. That's all I'm doing is just reminding you. That's it. I'm not fussing or anything like that. Just reminding because everybody has different rules on their own platform. You know. Uh, Cammy, I seen that happen yesterday, and I wish I could remember who it was. There'll be a new bingo card for Monday. Please send DWC your words. So if you can remember a word that needs to go on the bingo card, like goat, and this time it doesn't stand for greatest of all time. It actually stands for like bah, like goat. It actually stands for goat. Like four-legged mammal. When I heard something about a goat, I was like, what am I missing here? Okay, we're still on the Georgia seal. Goat is the goat because it's a goat. Jason, you ain't doing no work. Stop pretending like you working. Can you imagine the police face when they went to arrest him? What's going on here? Why is there a goat? That's going to be my new thing in the chat. WTG. What the goat? Telling you, it's what I'm going to start putting in the chat. When y'all see me type WTG, I'm going to know what it means. It stands for what the goat. Okay, I hear some movement, so I'm going to pull the screen back up. What the goat is a thing now. Hey, it's a thing. OMG now stands for oh my goat. Oh my goat. What did Dream say? Dream be saying some silly stuff. Can you imagine? Oh yeah, the police face. I know. No. What the goat? What the goat? Jason is silly, y'all. Oh my goat. You can't make up stuff about this trial. You just can't. I wasn't even going to bring it up, Tony, but you did. Wrapped in a white towel. Yeah, because they were going to sacrifice it. I wonder if the goat got freed. Hashtag free the goats. It is. It's a good way to get around cussing. Yeah, WTG. If you feel the need to want to cuss, just put in what's a goat. Goat, it's what's for dinner. I needed this laugh this morning, guys. I needed it. Everybody is a co-conspirator. They done said Hillary Clinton could be a co-conspirator. Look, Robin, because you said that, you are a co-conspirator. Look, Jim Bob that works at the 7-Eleven, he's a co-conspirator. They done said that too. I think there will be laws that come out of this case. Read the goat. Yeah, they had a phone call and they didn't know who was on the call. They said they think that it's so and so and so and so, but they're not sure. And the defense said he stood up and he was like, he actually like chuckled, like, and she let it in. She let the call in. I'm not goating around with you. Kidding me? Captain Flatastic, I have a question about your name. Are you like a flat earth debunker or are you a flat earther? I'm just curious about your name. Maybe it has nothing to do with flat earth at all. I'm just curious. Angie, thank you so much for the $2.99 super sticker. You rock my socks that happen to have little pictures of goats on them. Thank you, Angie, for the $2.99 super sticker and for the support of the channel. I really appreciate it. I have no idea what flat pockets mean, but okay. You goat to be kidding me. Jason said, thank you so much for the support. Hope y'all know she's going to handcuff the defense when it's time to cross whoever is going to testify all these statements. We will see. I hope she is just as lenient with the defense as she has been with the prosecution. We'll see. Oh, flat broke. Yeah, well then I'm flat pocket too. I just had to fork out for a computer. I got a good used one that will be here Monday. So hopefully it's a good used one. It's supposed to be. Y'all cross your fingers and toes and say a little prayer and stuff that it is. Can't imagine why all of these guys would talk over a jail phone. This particular call was not a jail phone. It was a tap. It was a wire tap. All right, we're back. So I'm going to shut up.
The next.
Hang on. Here we're missing.
I want to
You can go ahead and get it queued up.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Judge, the next one we have on the list is 152. The 115 is one we'll come back to. We didn't have it on the list that Ms. Hilton sent. It's in the Dropbox link, but it's not on the shorter list. So we'll come back to 115 and just go skip to 152.
Okay.
152.
I think maybe it seems like maybe the page numbers on this are maybe one off on a lot of these. So I think it's 150 on this, but for whatever reason, 152.
No, you're right. So the left column is the reference number.
Yeah.
Don't look at the reference number column. Look at the PDF page number column, which is the second column in.
Honestly, so that I could fit it on one screen, I ditched some columns. So whatever. I'm following y'all. Go ahead.
So, all right.
I don't see 151. I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit confused. Is it the call reference is 150 though, right?
It is, Mr.
Okay, thank you.
Harvey.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
So if you all would just ignore entirely the column that says, if I may, Your Honor, ignore entirely the column that says reference number. Look immediately to its right at the column that says PDF page number. And that is the number we will reference when identifying the calls. And we will, yes, proceed forward.
So when we're before the jury with these, is there going to be any faster of a way for y'all to get these queued up and to the right part?
Yes, we have a graphics team working.
Great, thank you.
Start at 4 minutes and 47 seconds in. I'll start at 4:24. Hold on.
Like, oh, why I'm good? I look like a motherfucker, but I don't look like for real, man. Yeah,
Bro,
We're listening to people laugh.
D, is you sad about that thing for real?
man, on DB on Saturday, yeah, bro. That's why they had to come drink, bro.
No, I said I ain't called you. Dad said Gio Carey, so I text. I ain't want to call him. He said, yeah, he answered. I called.
Yeah, that fucked up. That shit got me hurt, bro. I fucked bro.
Yeah, that shit put me on. I know dude said I did.
Yeah, man.
Damn, B probably little shit too.
I know it, bro. Damn.
That shit crazy. That's why I said they had like 45 gun shells out there.
45 gun shell?
Yeah.
Just know, Cash, we don't get skip back. We out yeah.
D, you better show that down for real.
I am, but still, bro, I am gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down, bro.
Well, you gonna sit your ass down somewhere, baby.
I am, but bro, nigga think it's shit the game. You out here playing. For real, bro. Like, I already going through some shit before that. Like, it like, I was talking to they got money on my head, bro. Like, when I still just be going places, you still don't be worried about shit, bro. Cause I be prepared for shit. If a nigga pay with me, that they know that shit ain't gonna be easy.
Oh, dude.
I just got to a shootout early.
Why the fuck you get into a shootout, D?
Because it was a color looking strange. Don't say nothing, me, Shannon, all that, that gun there.
Why would you? Oh my God.
Because the car, they were 3 deep with hoods on, so I had to shoot it. I don't know. The day it was the day on Cleveland. It was a car got. I know it, huh? Yeah, you do.
You need to
Yeah, you right. Yeah. They had me follow me. They had me follow me from he cool. Yeah, I went on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's going up at 131? Yeah, I didn't talk to phone. I talked to him. I told him to call. He just said, you know what we on every day. Hello? What you going up at 131, bro?
I was asleep. They woke me up and said me was dead.
Oh, yeah.
I was down.
I'm gonna text you on something. I'm in the car, right?
All right, be safe, love you.
I love you too. If you want to send me back, you're going on block. You heard me?
Okay.
All right.
So, Judge, this one we believe comes in a couple of different ways. Obviously, it's a statement against penal interest that Mr. Garlington is making about him and Mr. Stillwell. He is, as the young lady is apprising him that people said that there were 45 gun shells out there. He is telling her that they're going to get some get back. There's going to be retaliation. Those come in under that exception. The called party, it appears, is playing a role of support to Mr. Garlington as he is telling her what they are going to do. She's apprising him of the number of gun shell casings they said that they found, as he's telling her that they have money on his head and he's prepared for stuff. This isn't going to be easy. Telling her that he had just gotten into a shootout earlier on Cleveland again is a statement against penal interest. But in talking with her and in communicating with her, he is able to further the interest of the conspiracy this furthers the interest of the conspiracy in that he is able to lean on this person for the support that she is giving him through the course of this conversation. So our position is that it comes in, it's a couple of hearsay exceptions that it falls under: co-conspirator statement and statement against penal interest. And it also is a reflection of Mr. Garlington's state of mind, his statement that they're going to get some get back. So it's sort of a reaction and a present sense impression.
Respectfully, I don't think the case law supports the lean on for support exception to the hearsay rule under 801 D2E. This is classic spilling the beans. It should be noted that Mr. Garlington says at the very end, I'm drunk as F. So he's intoxicated, he's talking to a girl, he's likely boasting, trying to seem tough for his own personal reasons that have nothing to do with the conspiracy. And it's not furthering the conspiracy in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I don't believe this would come in under the co-conspirator exception. There are portions of it that would come in as a statement against penal interest, but it's going to need to be a whole lot more narrow than this entire conversation.
And Your Honor, I would ask that the court look at, if the court sees the case the way that I do, I'm not saying that it will, but Mosley versus the state, 307 Georgia 711 at Penn site 717, where at trial Singleton testified that shortly after Brown and Mosley arrived at her residence, she had an emotional conversation with Brown in which Brown disclosed that Mosley shot Carter. Mosley contends that this statement did not further the conspiracy, but instead, quote, spilled the beans. However, the court found narratives of past events, and they were quoting Kemp at 303 Georgia, 385 at Penn Site 395, stating narratives of past events are admissible under Rule 801D2E if they serve some present purpose in the conspiracy. The court pointed out here that the context of Brown's statement is important, and then went on to say that it is clear that Brown relied extensively on Singleton for help throughout the week-long crime spree. The court noted that Brown used Singleton's telephone to set up additional crimes, including the one involving Knight, and Mosley and Brown continued their crimes while staying at Singleton's residence and hid the evidence in the residence while staying there. Brown's statement to Singleton, in which she identified Mosley as a trigger man, was made during an emotional conversation in which Brown asked Singleton for help. Thus, Brown's statement to Singleton was not simply a confession. Instead, it was made as part of Brown's ongoing relationship with Singleton and as part of Brown's continued need for assistance from Singleton, whether emotional or logistical, while she and Mosley continued to commit their crimes and attempted to evade arrest. Accordingly, given the liberal standard applied to this inquiry, it was not clearly erroneous for the trial court to conclude that Brown's statement that Mosley shot Carter was made in furtherance of the conspiracy. And we understand that the court may need more context than what it hears, but I just wanted the court to be aware of that particular case. That
Okay, well, this doesn't seem to be that kind of a situation where he's saying pouring his heart out and needing support and logistical backup and anything like that. So I understand that that could be a co-conspirator statement in that kind of circumstance. I just don't find this to be that kind of a circumstance. So do you think you understand the portions of it that would be in against penal interest, or do we need to, you can take a look at it and then bring back a more narrowed one?
Yes.
Okay.
And my understanding for statements against penal interest, my client's name would need to be redacted out of that.
Agreed.
It's against the penal interest of Mr. Garlington. It comes in against Mr. Garlington perhaps, but not against anybody else. I would not expect if it's a statement against Garlington's penal interest, and I would ask for a 105 instruction if this comes in.
Okay, well, I don't know if that would be appropriate considering that this is all also being considered in the context of the greater conspiracy. So if you can get me some law on that, I'd appreciate it.
And we'll just come back to the more narrowed down version of it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to skip down to, we're not saying, we're just going to come back to some of the other ones that I want to make sure that I have tightly tailored for the court.
Okay.
So we're going to skip down to page 235. Okay. And it's going to start at the beginning.
What's that? How shit was like the other night? What the movie on?
I will get one. No, sis, I will get one, but my mind ain't there yet. I'm really on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody did what the movie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wait.
Yeah. I said, I ain't got, bro. Like, I was just telling her, but I ain't make no money in about 2-3 days. Nigga ain't.
You too?
For real, bro. Nigga, man ain't done.
I told you I've been leaving my drugs now, bro. I ain't seen shit.
Yeah. I ain't even got down. I still left out, bro. What you got going on?
You know where I'm at, bro?
Man, that's man.
What?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You know where I'm at. I'm right here. I just be right here.
Yeah.
Wayne. And, you know, man, that time come, I got on.
Yeah. Got to, bro.
You got done. Get with me. You don't know where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay, but I got some whole
What's causing somebody they on the way clear? You need to go on and trouble to come to you and get up out me. No.
Different. You say get off you?
I ain't saying I don't fuck with it, but like just make it come to you and get you and tell them to bring you.
What you talking about?
I smack that shit now for shit.
You did?
Yeah.
Man, you ain't win, bro.
What you mean when I told you to get me up out of it?
This call is a call between Demekion Garlington and defendant Stillwell, and they are discussing their ability to sell narcotics, apprising one another of their narcotics. And defendant Stillwell said, you know where I am, I'm just waiting, as they are trying to get themselves resituated so that they can better distribute their narcotics.
Well, I will start out by, and I misspoke earlier. And I think Your Honor realizes that Mr. Stillwell is charged with, well, he already pled to it. It's a 2013 possession with intent marijuana, which is one overact as part of count one. Okay. After 2013, to my recollection, there's no other allegations of Mr. Stillwell selling drugs in furtherance of YSL. In addition, we have heard absolutely no evidence, and I don't anticipate hearing any evidence that there's any sort of profit sharing or anything else involved in drug distribution. We've heard about Durante Beebe selling drugs at a gas station. There was no indication that any of that money. Mr. Trontavious Stephen talked about his sale of drugs. He actually testified, and we asked him, and he was like, no, it was worth like $150. I'm not giving it to anyone. I was selling drugs. I acknowledge that it actually appears that they're talking about drugs and not selling drugs for the time being. But so that's not really furthering any conspiracy. But there's to say that just because they put in their indictment in count one an allegation of drug dealing furthering the YSL does not, in my estimation, open the door to any discussions of any individuals on trial selling drugs to pad their own individual pockets. There's nothing that supports the argument that this is some sort of vast conspiracy as alleged in the indictment. So to me, we're just end-arounding how to get in bad character evidence about Mr. Stillwell, about talking about drugs with Mr. Garlington. And so I don't believe it's part of any conspiracy. I don't believe it's in furtherance of any conspiracy. And I don't believe it's relevant and it is prejudicial. And so 401, 403, and hearsay are my objections.
All right. I don't hear how any of what gets said in this particular conversation can be in furtherance of a conspiracy. So I'm going to exclude this.
Yes, Your Honor. And Judge, just
What?
so that
She
I
excluded
want to give a little
something?
bit more context to calls similar to this with the drugs.
Okay.
In this wiretap, where there are, as they've described accurately, about 60,000 pages of calls, there are more calls, or 6,000, there are more calls on this wiretap discussing the sale, the distribution of narcotics than we have time to ever listen to during the course of this trial. So the idea that the calls between YSL members are isolated incidents that should not be deemed in furtherance of a conspiracy is belied by that very real fact that we could show if we sat here and just listened to all of the calls where they're talking about re-upping, selling, running out, who to get it from, where to go get it. So I just wanted to make certain we're not trying to revisit what the court's ruling just was, but I want to make certain.
Well, I don't hear anything in this call about where to get it from or re-upping or anything like that. I just hear them going, yeah, man, I'm not selling any. I'm not either. So
Yes, Your Honor.
there may be another one that might meet the requirements, but this one doesn't.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
All right. And so these calls as well, Your Honor, that are coming up are party opponent admissions because they are talking about right before they go to the gas station.
Okay. Which ones are we talking about now?
The ones that are coming up. The ones that are coming up next is on page 333.
Well, page number was unfortunately what I cut off of this, so. I know we don't want to be going by reference numbers, but.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you can give me a date and time, that's fine too.
Reference number is 326.
Okay.
And the date is March 14th.
All right, I got it.
2022.
9:56 and then 9:59 after that.
Yes.
All right. Is there any evidence that they have any reason to believe Mr. Drinks is going to be at this gas station?
Yes, I'll let Ms. Hilton. When you mean that before they get to the gas station, I think seeing him at the gas station is happenstance. When they see him at the gas station.
Okay. So I mean, I'm wondering, maybe there's something more going on here, but if they're just talking about meeting up.
No, Your Honor, I don't believe, we don't have any evidence to show that they knew prior to going to the gas station that he was at the gas station. I do think that part was happenstance.
All right, well, I'll just have to listen to what the content of this call is to see whether this might be. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all are saying this one's a party opponent. So I'm sorry. Never mind. Scratch what I said. Go ahead.
But we do think that they were on the prowl because Mr. Stillwell earlier that morning on March 14th had rented a car from Alamo at the airport and then went and got the car tinted.
Okay.
So we do think they were on the prowl, but not that they knew that Mr. Drinks was going to be at the airport.
All right. Understood. Thank you.
Page 333. I'm trying to get the Zoom up. Starting from the beginning. Yeah, the whole call. 333.
Hello? You know where it's at? He said Dirty Glove? Yeah. Yeah, but like, we'll get out there with the tell. I'm saying we can get out the edge literally right now. He just said that. I'm telling you, I promise you, get out the edge right now. We stay right here. Yeah, come on, bro. Tell Shannon don't be mad at us, bro. We can bound. We can bound. He said, we get mad at him. Y'all can bound. Yeah, nah, well, no, I'm my mama 12 feet 12. We get out of here right now, man. All right. All right.
So this is actually, we believe, not even co-conspirator here statements, but this is actually, we believe, evidence of defendant Stillwell's and Garlington's participation in the murder that eventually, the murder of Shamel Drinks. So,
Wait. My client was not on that call. So if the state's just going to say things like that, I need to know what they're talking about.
You're right. He is in the call. He's in the background. So when you hear, I believe the caller, I think maybe DeMarco Boyer saying, tell Shannon don't be mad. Tell Shannon don't be mad. You hear Shannon make a response in the background. Like, so I think him and Garlington are in the car together. The other car is calling him saying, don't be mad. We're going to meet you at the gas station. And Mr. Stillwell says something in the background.
Let me hear it again.
The state's spreadsheet says Garlington on the phone with Nichols. And now we're saying DeMarco Boyer's talking.
It's Nichols on the phone and they're using Boyer's phone. Because Nichols and Boyer and Miles Farley are in one car.
And
Shannon and Demikian Garlington are in another car.
And how would they determine that that's Mr. Nichols?
Because when you get to the gas station, we see that it's Nichols, Miles Farley, and then we are able to investigate that this is Boyer, and investigative Viverita is familiar with these individuals.
So we're saying that is Mr. Nichols on that call?
I don't know. Who are we saying?
Because
we believe it's Mr. Nichols. Now that's using Mr. Boyer's telephone.
There's a lot of we believe, and I have little faith in those assertions. In fact, I know those assertions to be incorrect. So
You said there's a video from the gas station, right? And does the video from the gas station show who's in what car?
We know for sure that we see Mr. Jackson in the two cars around is an Audi and a Ford Fusion, a white Ford Fusion, a white Audi. We do know that Mr. Jackson gets out of the Audi.
Who's Mr. Stillwell?
Mr. Stillwell, excuse me. And then we know that Mr. Nichols gets out the Ford Fusion and that Ford Fusion is actually his wife's car.
Okay, and do you know, those are the only two people that the video shows getting out or that you can see in any of the cars?
And one other person, Miles Farley, we know that he gets out of the car with Mr. Nichols.
Okay, so he's in the Fusion.
He's in the Fusion. We do not see Mr. Garlington. He does not get out the car at the gas station, nor do we see Mr. Boyer. He does not get out of the car at the gas station.
Okay, but your theory is that Garlington and Boyer are also in the Audi?
No, Garlington's in the Audi. We believe Boyer is in the Ford Fusion.
Okay, sorry.
How would you know that?
And you maintain that you can hear Mr. Stillwell at the back responding in the call?
Yes, Your Honor, in the background, yes. It's faint, but you hear him.
Can I hear it again?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello? You know where it's at?
He said dirty gloves? Yeah. Yeah, but like won't get up there with the tongue. I'm saying we can get out the edges literally right now. He just said that. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I promise you, we get out the edges right now. We stay right here. Yeah, come on, bro. Tell Sharon don't be mad at me, bro. We can bound. We can bound. He said, y'all can bound. Well, I'm my mama to on deep before we get out the edge right now, man. All right.
Somebody says something on the background.
So, well, what I hear is this. I hear Mr. Garlington speaking to someone, and them trying to explain to each other where they are. My understanding from what the state's saying is this conversation occurs before, well, from the context of the call, before either car, or at least the car that Mr. Nichols is in, according to the state's theory, arrives at the gas station, which means this is before Shamal Drinks arrives at the gas station, which means there's nothing, according to the state's theory, nothing immediately criminal afoot. And they're just talking about getting up, and the person alleged to be in the car with Mr. Garlington is Mr. Stillwell. And, I can't really hear what was said in the background, but the context of what was repeated is Mr. Garlington saying, Mr. Stillwell's sick of waiting on you in a friendly way, and hurry up. And then saying, Shannon said, y'all are going to bam, meaning y'all are going to fight when he gets here because you're holding us up, and then them laughing about it. So I don't know what's criminal about any of that, or what's furthering any criminal conspiracy, especially since under the state's theory, Shamal Drinks hasn't even arrived at the gas station.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything further in any conspiracy here except a conspiracy to meet up at the gas station. So this would not be in under that exception for sure.
And I'd also point out, Judge, that it shows the coordination between the two sets of the called and the calling party, and the coordination. So even if you don't take what they're saying as true, the call itself is evidence of coordinated efforts and communication right leading up to the Shamal Drinks murder.
Okay, but y'all are saying it was entirely just luck or bad luck for Mr. Drinks that they happened to find him here. So while there may have been a plan afoot to, when we see the enemy, we kill them, unless you've got evidence that this was, all right, we're getting together to go send out and start looking so that we can act on our plan, then this cannot come in under co-conspirator. It may come in under something else. But are you making that argument that this should come in under?
That's the opposite of the one I was making. What I was saying is that it has a non-hearsay purpose, and that the non-hearsay purpose was that it shows the coordination and communication between the people that we've alleged committed the murder, even outside of the fact, even if you don't take as true anything that they're saying. So not even trying to take the truth of what they're saying, the fact that they are communicating with one another is one. And then the other was that we were saying it was the statement of a party opponent, in that Mr. Stillwell was one of the people that was communicating with one another.
I mean, we can't hear what any of those communications are. So I don't hear anything coming in as a statement by Mr. Stillwell here.
If Your Honor could allow us one more comment on that.
No, I was just going to say, Your Honor, we agree. We don't think it's a co-conspirator saying, but it is evidence of the events leading up to the murder of Shamal Drinks. And so we believe it can come in as we're not offering for the truth of the matter asserted that he was getting off the exit at the time that he says he's getting off the exit, but simply, like Ms. Love just said, to show they are the series of events that occur right before the murder, in communication to meet up at the gas station. You're going to see that they meet up at the gas station. Then a call that's coming up next is when DeMarco Boyer calls Demekion Garlington and tells him get on FaceTime. And we believe that is when the plan happens to kill Chanel Johnson. That's the next
So
call.
does the video show the Audi's already there and then the Fusion pulls up?
Yes, but it doesn't, again, because of the video, we are not aware of DeMarco Boyer being in the car prior to seeing the video, nor do we see him afterwards. We just hear these phone calls between this individual.
All right, well, I'm not talking about the next call yet. I'm talking about this call and trying to figure out why we need this call at all.
Because I think it shows them coming from wherever they're coming together. We believe that they were either near each other or had plans to meet up prior to do whatever they're doing. And so it just shows a series of events, Your Honor. Just if we have to prove what happens before, during, and after the murder, this shows before the murder, they were in communication. It's not like they randomly met up at the gas station together. They literally planned these two cars, at least, to meet up at the gas station. They meet, they unfortunately see Mr. Drinks, and then the plan becomes afoot. But it's not like the Audi and the Ford Fusion randomly meet at the gas station. They have plans to meet at the gas station. And
all right, well, if that's your purpose, I think you can narrow it down a little bit. We don't need to hear the whole conversation.
And Your Honor, I also said that they have a call log that establishes that, and they actually had Mr. Burney, the cell phone analysis gentleman, plot this number in question that they're saying belongs to Mr. Boyer. They've plotted that. So they have a call log of who's calling who to show coordination.
Okay.
And they have the plot of where the phone was at times that it was used and who was calling who. So the coordination, they don't need the contents of the phone call to show coordination.
yeah, but I would believe that the defense will argue, we don't know what they were meeting. We don't know what they're meeting up for, but now the jurors can
We
hear.
still don't know what they're meeting up for at this point in time.
But it's still just a series of events that lead up to the murder. These two cars and the individuals in these cars have some type of relationship.
If you want to use the little tiny part that's we're getting off the exit right now, that's fine. But we don't need all of it. I mean, it just.
And who's going to identify the voice? Because it's not Mr. Nichols on that call.
Yeah, and we'll lay the foundation as to the call and where it comes from on the wiretap.
Well, if I'm admitting it as an admission by a party opponent, then it needs to be one of these people on trial right now. So if you can't establish that it's Mr. Nichols, that's problematic.
We will.
Well,
if I'm offering it to show that they were, not that they were getting off the gas at the gas, and that's the hearsay, that we would need to, what we're saying is they were meeting up they were on their way to the gas station, not that we're getting off right now. That would be offering for the truth of the matter asserted, which would be the hearsay.
Which would need an exception.
Which would need an exception. That's not what we're offering.
Okay, but if we have no idea who's on the call, then it's not relevant.
But we do know from the phone number that it's DeMarco Boyer's phone. We know that he is talking to Mickey on.
You know what? Let's just use what's already in for that. And by that's really the wrong word, but it appears that you all have what you need. And considering the other issues surrounding this one, I am gonna sustain the various objections. I'm not going to admit this.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Judge, the next one that we have is omitted from the yellow sheet that the court is looking at.
Okay.
But it's going to be PDF page 351, March 14, 2022 at 10:50 p.m. It's not, but Your Honor, as I stated, it's not on the yellow sheet. It is in the Dropbox.
Okay, yeah, the yellow sheet was something that got sent later that was just to guide us, but.
What's the reference number?
It is the PDF page 351, reference number 345.
apparently. So we're all guilty of RICO. RICO for Becky, RICO for Republic, RICO for Foster, definitely for Foster. I ain't even playing with Foster no more. I'm just kidding.
Man, hello. Where you at? Why? Right here at the studio. Why they got killed in Canada? I'm trying to see who it was. For real? Yeah. I just seen Shakur post shit like that. Yeah. Huh? Y'all wait on time. Just time we leave. I was just trying to see who you were. All right. Oh.
Judge, just 1 second. That was not the one that I expected to play. We're playing call 330, page 333, and reference number 326.
That's the one we just played.
No, yeah,
That's the one
no,
we just
yeah,
that
it is.
talked about getting off the exit.
335, 335, I'm sorry, it's the one right under. 335, page 341. My apologies.
Hey, what day y'all pulled up? Call me on video, Rick. Hurry up. Call me on video. Call it.
And it's the timing of this one, y'all can establish this is after Drinks pulls up.
Yes, this is right before this one.
I think that pretty clearly would come in under co-conspirator exception.
And the next one.
And so, just so we're clear though, that the state is asserting that because like the last one, there was some question about the involved parties. The state is still asserting that is Mr. Garlington and Mr. Boyer.
Yes, we believe that's Mr. Boyer calling, telling Mr. Garland to get on FaceTime. That's his phone number calling Mr. Garland.
All right, we can't hear you.
That is Boyer's phone number calling Garlington, telling him to get on FaceTime. And this is right after Shamel Drinks. When we look at the timestamp from the surveillance video to this call is after Mr. Drinks has pulled out of the gas station and they are pulling out behind him.
This phone's making noises. Can you make it silent?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay. All right, what's the next one?
It's reference 350, page 357.
All right, man, there was all kinds of shit going on. I just jump in the other car, bro. Yeah, nigga don't be getting dropped off and then got no motherfucking ride to go back home too. That don't make sense. Yeah. The fuck you getting dropped off for? Nigga, ride with the nigga who wrote you. Yeah. That's stupid as fuck. So, you need to be on the damn hill, so. Right here. What's on with you?
We're right here down here.
Yeah, what?
Ride past trying to see.
I'm finna go get off of the meal. What time nigga? Go get a fill up.
Gotta get a fill up for front, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Huh?
I said, alright, for let's know what's going on.
I said, I'm pulling out now.
You back, sorry. You say,
I was gonna jump in with y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Call when you're doing it.
I'm gonna get the pull up now.
All right.
This call is made and is between Damikian Garlington and one of the people who were in the car with Mr. Nichols, whom we believe to be Mr. Boyer, talking about having rolled back through the scene. The police were on the scene of the Shamel Drinks murder
I didn't hear all that.
She's correcting
You
her.
didn't hear
again.
it on
I don't know
the-
what she's talking about.
Call, or you didn't hear what Miss Love was saying?
I didn't hear it on the call.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Okay, this is them having, when they said we just rolled back through the scene, I'll play that again. It was at least that's what this team.
And this is supposed to take place at like 2 a.m.?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it again. What pinpoint to me where in this conversation, at what minute and second is that supposed to be getting said? Do you know?
No, it's a minute-long call, so it's about midway, maybe.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yo. All right, man, there's all kinds of shit going on. I just jump in the other car, bro. That nigga don't be getting.
Look, while she's playing this call again, I'm just going to say that she said we believe to be, which means she doesn't know for sure, so it should not be allowed. But who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just somebody waiting on my RICO. She said believe to be. So she doesn't know for sure. Another call where she doesn't know for sure who the participants are. This call should not be allowed, but I guarantee it will be.
Said right here, riding past the scene, their phone records put them at the scene at that time.
Okay, so right here, riding past the scene is
We don't believe that's
trying
what
to
he.
see,
That's
riding past, trying to see at the scene.
Let me hear
But
that.
she keeps saying scene, and no one says
Okay,
scene.
let me hear it again.
And Judge, I want to make clear, like the court is doing, the court can judge whatever is being said, whatever it is they're riding past to see or the scene, their phone records place them at the scene of the Shamel Drinks murder at the time that the call is made.
But Your Honor, this is the problem. The state keeps asserting things as fact. He said through the scene, and now I'm just pushing back moderately. And now it's like, well, we don't really know what was said. And Your Honor needs to know what was said to be able to judge it. And if the state doesn't know, they shouldn't be asserting as fact. This person said riding past the scene if they don't know that's what's said. And my belief, and I'm not going to assert it as fact, but what I'm telling the court is after listening to that numerous times on my own and several times in court now, I'm not hearing scene.
Okay.
And I don't think anyone else is.
I don't know. Let me hear it again.
I'm finna meet up with y'all. Nigga, go get a fill up.
I get a fill up. Right.
Oh, wait.
All right. Get down here.
Yeah, what?
Right past trying to see. Yeah.
Stupid folks. You need to be on the damn air, y'all. What's on with?
That is not what
We
you
right
said.
here. We right here down here.
Yeah, what?
Right past trying to see.
I'm finna meet up with y'all. Nigga, go get a fill up. Yeah, what?
Right past trying to see.
I'm finna
Is he
Right
not
past
saying?
trying to see.
I'm finna meet up with y'all. Nigga, go get a fill up.
I mean, I don't know what he's saying, but they're talking about, I mean, it's never is saying I need a ride, right?
A little
It's
context.
saying, no, not right there, but before then. And they're saying, why don't you ride with the person that you started out with? And
not
they're
saying
trying to
you
figure
are-
out where each other is, right?
He's asking, where are you? And he said, riding right here, riding past the scene, trying to see. Either way you look at it, that the point at which he is saying that, yes, they are trying to apprise each other's location, and that person right there saying that he is riding past, his phone puts him at the place where Shamel Drinks was murdered at that moment.
I'm hearing, and I think everyone else is hearing over here. Riding past around the city, okay, around the city.
I mean,
And
maybe he is saying around the city, if they've got something that's gonna.
I don't believe, well, they just said,
I mean, it honestly doesn't matter whether he's saying riding around the city or riding past the scene, when what they're trying to do is communicate with each other about what's going down between them right after they have allegedly shot and killed somebody.
well, it's 4 hours after Mr. Drinks was shot. The context of all this meeting up is to go to the studio. That's the part that the state's not playing. They're all going to a music studio. And so I hear who they're saying is Mr. Boyer, fussing that it seems that someone should have gotten a ride with someone else. And he's fussing with that. And he's asking, where you at now? And he says, riding around the city. There's nothing conspiratorial or anything else about that. But my bigger concern is we just have this situation where, like, if Mr. Garlington really said, I'm riding around past the scene, that would be some damning evidence. So we just shouldn't be throwing that out without knowing that's what's said.
All right, I'm not going to let them hand the jury a transcript of this call that says that, because I don't think, I mean, it's up for debate what it says. I don't think, y'all don't agree. I don't agree. Who knows what it says? But I mean, it could very well be a part of a conspiracy, and they could be meeting up in the studio to figure out what it is that they're going to do next. That's not for me to determine. That is part of their theory. They can present this evidence in support of that theory. Whether the jury buys it or not will be up to the jury. But it is this I'm going to admit.
Are you
Do we
kidding
have
me?
lunches yet? Yes? Okay, let's take a lunch break. We can all be back in an hour, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's be back at 1.
Is that a joke? That's a joke. She let that in? They're not sure what they're saying, but they're going to allow a transcript into something they don't know what they're saying. What? I'm sorry what? Wait a minute. What? What the goat? If you're just joining us and you don't know what we're talking about with what the goat, we're not talking about greatest of all time. We're talking about the greatest goat of all time, because apparently someone was getting ready, and I think it was Young Thug, but I don't want to say for sure, was getting ready to sacrifice a goat at the time of their arrest, and there was a goat wrapped in a white towel or cloth or something. So yeah. So now a goat is on RICO. Yeah. Wow. Breaks it down very nicely. So she is letting something in. I'm struggling. Oh, sorry. I'm struggling. She's letting something in that she has no idea what it says. And she even admitted she doesn't know what it says. Why? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Wow. Wow. That blows my mind. I really just don't even know what to say. So let's recap real quick. She actually did not allow 3 pieces of evidence to come in. That's got to be a record for her. I wonder if she's getting some pushback and saying, why are you letting everything in? And so she was like, you know what, today I have to not let some stuff in. Today I've got to not let my stuff in. And wow. Guys, I appreciate you guys following the rules in the chat. It really means a lot to Jason. He implemented these rules so that everyone would feel welcome on the channel. if you have an issue with the rules, you can email him at dearwokec@gmail.com. The state was playing calls today, several of which they said, we think this is this person. We were told that it might be this person. Apparently it's this person, but they never said they knew for sure that it was this person, this person, this person. I only heard that on one call. We know that it's this person because of a wiretap. That blows my mind. So, wow. So we're going to actually go ahead and end the stream for lunch and take a break. And we're going to come back at 3 o'clock. Jason will be with you then, and he'll do a recap and answer some of your questions. And we will see you guys later. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being the best live chat on the internet. Y'all have a great day, but come back at 3 o'clock, okay? And Jason will be with you. Y'all have a good one. Behave out there on them YouTube streets. Be blessed. Bye, everybody.